Here is your podcast.
You know, I've been doing this show 9 years. In the beginning, it was great. I got to show up and just talk and leave. That was fantastic. But now Mex sends me this theme song, tells me to put my own voice in it. Lily shows up. She doesn't produce a goddamn thing. All she does is laugh, turn around, and go home. The only thing I don't wind up doing for this show is listen to it. That's your fucking job. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-year-old boy podcast. I will warn you, there are fans on, there's air on, because fucking Southern California is ridiculously hot. Still hot. And I like heat. You know me, I'm a heat guy. We know this. Everybody knows this inside their hearts and inside their heads and inside their stomachs and their livers and their kidneys and anything else that's inside you, inside your lungs. Breathe it in, folks. Breathe it in, take it in, hold it in, and get high on the fact that I'm a heat guy. You know this. I know this. We all know this. But, I mean, sometimes heat guys like, dude, it's fucking hot. It is Wednesday, so you're getting this tomorrow. But and I'm alone. I'm solo because our friend Lily is in Las Vegas. She's en route back to Los Angeles. She and I have been texting today, and I was going to wait for her, but she can't come over, but she might because she got to help me with some stuff, but she can't record. It's a coin flip at this point, as it always is, folks, as is most of my life. My life's a coin flip. Don't you know that? I'd love to go tails. I call tails on this coin flip of life, but it might come up heads, or it might not come up at all. See, we flip the coin, it bounces, goes down the storm drain. That's the kind of life I'm leading these days. I don't get to call it, but I don't get a result. As I yawn. There, that was not good. See, I don't yawn when I'm alone. I yawn only when I'm alone, not when there's other people here, because I'm engaged and my brain is getting all the oxygen. And I guess maybe when I'm splitting oxygen with people, I don't yawn. But when I'm solo and I get all the oxygen in the world to breathe into my lungs, I guess it's too much and it overwhelms me, and then it turns into a yawn. Fuck, this is me talking in circles. So Lily's not here, and that's okay, because I'll tell you what, we have a special show for you this week. I decided it earlier this week. I decided it mainly when Lily said that she was not going to be here. When she told me she was traveling to Vegas, I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense. But let's cover a couple of things. First of all, thank you for everybody who contacted me this past week. And it's funny, you know, I always assume that people hear this show right away. So last week's show dealt with some things in my life that are going on. And I heard from a lot of you almost immediately. You texted me, or you wrote me emails, or you wrote on Facebook, and that's great, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It was nice of everybody to weigh in and ask how I'm doing. And I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't. I wish I could say everything's the best. Hey man, this is great. Isn't this great? That would be awesome if everything was great. But it's still dark and quiet sometimes, and I'm alone, and I find myself thinking and looking and wishing and hoping, and that's just that. But you can't do that. You got to move forward. You got to be a shark. You got to throw the fin up and move forward. But it's funny, like I said, so a lot of people know right away what's happening. And last week I was at the Los Angeles Podcast Festival, and I will get to that more a little bit later. Well, fuck, I'll get to it now. Why would I wait till later? I went to the podcast festival, and I ran into people all weekend, and it was fucking amazing to see people, and I'll talk more about that in a second. But there are people who would come up to me, and they would say, hey, man, what's going on? And they would ask me questions about my personal life that obviously they had not heard the show last week. So they'd be like, hey, man, how's this and how's that, and where are you going, and what are you doing? And, oh, my gosh, I hope everything's okay. And I'd say, yeah, I think so. And inevitably, someone who had heard the show, well, I'll just say it. Some people come and go, hey, dude, how's Jill? Or how's Jill's arm? Or is Jill coming to PodFest? Is she going to be here? How's she feeling? And people would ask me, and I'd say, I think she's good. She's still going through therapy with her arm, because I don't, those people obviously didn't hear. And I don't want to, if they listen to the show in order, then they're going to hear it eventually. But that's another thing, is some people, like I said, consume the show immediately. But then there are some people, like my great friend Heidi, and other people, and Sarah J, who I saw at the festival. These people are, a month or months behind on the show, so they don't know really kind of anything that's happening. So they'll come up and they'll be like, "Hey, what's going on? How's Jill? How's her arm? Oh my gosh, what's happened? I saw it on Facebook." And I'll go, "She's fine. She's doing some therapy with her arm and stuff." And every time somebody would come up and ask that, there would be another person, like a Ron Hansen, one of the famous Hansen brothers, or somebody else, who would lean over and say, do you want me to tell them, or should, or, and I'm like, no, that's fine. Or they'd say something cute like, well, this is probably not the week to ask that. And everybody would just look at me and I'd go, I don't know what they're talking about. But then inevitably I would tell them and people would go, oh my God. And I'd say, yes. Our friend Debbie Webb, who I saw at the podcast festival, she was very nice and she gave me a hug. Her and her husband Michael have come a few years and they come up and they hug me and they're really cool. And she's like, oh my gosh, how's Jill? What's going on? Everything's great. And I said, yeah, everything's really good. This was Friday night. And then Saturday, the day of my show, on Facebook, she posted, oh man, I owe you a hug and I will pay you when I see you today. Because again, that was somebody who did not know, but then they heard the show that day and they went, oh, Jesus. So it was interesting, and that's, you know how that is, man. It's fucking when you break up or your baby dies or fucking, well, I don't know why your baby dying. I think you know what? I think more people would know about your baby dying. That's not something you're going to withhold and then put out on the podcast. I think that's something that's going to disseminate among your friends and family and people like that without you having to hold off and talk about it on a once a week comedy show. I think that's information you would definitely share with people. But whenever anything like that happens, people don't know what to say. And especially if they don't know about it, then they find out, then they're like, fuck, they feel dumb. No, nobody should feel dumb. Thank you for everybody who's written, everybody who's texted, everybody who contacted me. Thank you for checking. And how do I feel? I don't know. I got no idea. I'm still kind of fucking numb over the whole deal. I mean, you know, 5 years goes by and then you're sitting there for a week and you're supposed to be, I don't know what you're supposed to do. Are you supposed to go out and be like, yeah, man, all right, here we go. You know what? The hell with that. Everything in my future is destroyed. Let's fucking move forward. This is going to be great. I can't wait to reboot from square one at the age of 49. I had absolutely thrown all of my eggs into that basket, and now somebody took that basket, threw it in the air, and it landed in a fucking wood chipper and sprayed me with the yolk. Boy, am I fucking happy. I cannot wait to go ahead and reconnoiter a strategy for the rest of my goddamn life. It's fucking weird. I won't lie. But thank you, everybody who checked. That was really cool. So here's the deal. Like, with no Lily here today, I'm going to talk a little bit, and I'm going to tell you some things and talk about some stuff. Oh, and there's another thing I have to update too. Well, first I'll just tell you this. You know, every year I do Podfest, and every year we sell the audio. You know, we sell the audio, the video as a download package. It's a way for us to bring some money in and stuff like that. And it's great, and it's something that's really cool, and you guys have been very supportive about that, and thank you so much. But this year is a little different. This year, as you know, at Podfest, we had guests. We had the always fucking popular Jess Harnell and his friend Mickey Caputo. They are the singer, brains, genius of Rock Sugar, the bass player of Rock Sugar, and they were kind enough and gracious enough to come and do the show with us. And after the show, you know, we were talking in the beginning, and they said, hey, when can we hear this show? And I said, well, I don't know when they get me the audio files. They usually do it pretty quick. There's usually a pretty good turnaround time. And then I put it on sale about a month later because they have to wait for the live stream to burn out. By the way, if you want to see the show, man, you can still get the live stream. If you go to lapodfest.com and use the code 40YOB, we'll still get money. I mean, that's pretty cool if you guys want to see all of this. And not just us. Watch Never Not Funny, which was fucking amazing because Pat Francis came dressed as Paul Stanley. It's just fucking cool. So if you buy the live stream, use our code and we get money. And you can see our show and then everybody else's show too. But use our code because then we get the cash. So that's available. So that's why I never put things on sale until like a month after Podfest, because they asked us specifically, hey, dude, you know, the live stream is still going for a month, so please don't compete with us by selling your own version of it, which makes sense. But a lot of people used to put the audio out, and they would go ahead and throw that up early and let everybody listen to it, and that was great too, and it made people happy, and I never did that because I sold them as a package, a download package. Well, like I said, when I talked to Jess and Mickey, they're like, hey, dude, when can our fans hear this? And I said, honestly, I don't get the audio files, you know, for like a week, or the audio video files. So I'm not sure exactly when, but once it is, I'll definitely let you guys know because I usually sell the thing. But if you want raw audio, and they go, cool, just let us know wherever we can go ahead and put it up and have people listen. And then I thought about it, man. And I don't know if you were here last week. Some of you weren't. I know that for a fact, as I mentioned. You know, maybe people were coming up and hugging me because they thought I was bad at business. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe they heard the show and they came up and hugged me and they go, oh, dude, you are so terrible at business. And they're giving me a hug. If anything changes, please let us know. But man, right now you are terrible at business. And they gave me a reassuring hug that I'd be better at business going forward. Well, I can tell you what, now is not the day to be better at business. Because once Jess and Mickey were like, hey man, where can our fans hear it? And I thought, I sell this fucking thing. And I do it to get money for the show, which is great. But, you these dudes came and did the show, and they were gracious enough to come and do an interview, and their fans want to hear it. Why the fuck wouldn't I just put it out there so their fans could hear it? They debuted a new song at the Podfest. It didn't really seem like there was. It just doesn't seem cool for me to withhold it for my own needs, my own fucking. I don't want to say. Well, I mean, fuck. Who cares? The point is. Yeah, well, I mean, because my own devices, I would absolutely save it and I would sell it, and don't think I wouldn't have repeated that if I didn't just think of the word devices, because my brain couldn't fire it a fucking second ago. God, why do I share everything with you guys? All right. But with them premiering a song and them coming and do the thing and sitting out, Lily's like, man, you should definitely sell this then, because then you've got the exclusive to their song. You'll set it out there. And I said, well, Lily, but that's not fair to them, because they came, they were gracious enough. They sat, they did an interview. They debuted the song on our show. She goes, yeah, it's promotion for them. I go, great. It's promotion. They didn't think it was going to be held behind a paywall. And Lily's like, you are so bad at this. And I said, yes, I am. I'm terrible at business. But at the same time, they were great. I'd like to establish a relationship where I get to see these guys more often and have them come and do the show. So I don't mind sharing this with everybody and sharing it with the fans. Because, we're 9 years in, and you guys have been great and supported a lot of live stuff. So that's what this show's going to be, man. We're going to give you the audio from the Podfest. We're going to give you, I'm going to talk for a little bit here and fucking talk in circles, and then it's just going to be the full thing from Podfest. It's going to be the interview. It's going to be me and Lily and Jess and Mickey on stage. I'm going to warn you of this right now. As of right now, I've received audio files that I think are fucking inadequate. I don't care for them because... And again, I'll just share with you what I was told by Lily. Because there were 4 microphones going into one board, there's a lot of overdrive because I'm loud and Jess is loud and then the music was loud. So they just mixed it all into one fucking blender. And they didn't do anything with levels. They didn't do anything where they, me folks, I'm very particular about that sort of thing. I go through and meticulously do all the work and do the best levels and change the gain or whatever the fuck. But because I know what that stuff is, like I've been listening to the fucking audio files and gripping. I'm just pissed. And that's one of the reasons why Lily's coming over tonight. She's going to help me with the audio files that they've sent. I've actually contacted Podfest a few other times and said, hey, look, can I get a different version? Can I get a WAV file? Can I get this? And then they said they're going to boost the levels for me. I don't fucking know. So right now, as I speak to you on this Wednesday in the heat, I can tell you that I do not know what I'm going to have to give to you. There's going to be the show. You'll hear it. I hope it's quality audio. I'm going to, if they don't boost the fucking levels, I'm going to do it myself, and it might overdrive in places. I have no clue because again, I'm not Captain fucking Audio, but you'll hear the show, and hopefully it's good, and hopefully it's and a hi to all you Rock Sugar people who are downloading this and hearing this. At least I hope you are, because otherwise I'm bad at business for no good fucking reason. Like I'm trying to be generous to you motherfuckers, and you're going to come here and you're going to bitch at me about the sound quality? Who the fuck do you think you are, goddammit? I'm debuting a song from your fucking band. You're going to come here and give me a bunch of shit? I could have kept this, man. I could have kept it myself. I could have fucking collected as much money as I possibly could have and fucking gone ahead and told you guys to fuck off. But no, here I am, benevolent. From the bottom of my heart, I'm sharing their audio with you, and you're going to bitch at me. You know what? I'm appalled. I'm outraged. So we're going to put up the show. It'll be here in a second. As soon as I handle the plugs, I will tell you, that's your punishment, Rock Sugar people. You got to hear me talk. You got to hear my plugs, and you got to buy something. I'll tell you this, because I'm putting out this audio for free from the Pod Festival, and eventually we're going to get the video too. And I don't know if you're hearing the audio. I don't know if you care about the fucking video. I have a plan for the video, because I had some discussions when I was at the Podfest with my great friend Michael Wayne, who's he's a tech guy, and he was gracious enough to sit and talk with me for about 3 fucking hours one night, and then I didn't see him again. I teased him at one point because he was going to be. I walked in and on Sunday, and there was Never Not Funny was there. All right, I'll tell you this fucking story. Why not? Because you know why? Because I think it makes me look like a dick, but I'm going to tell it anyway. I walked in the door, and Alice Fraser was there. I think you guys know, we've talked about Alice. I talked about her last 2 years ago or whatever at the Podfest. So I walk in, and she's there with Michael Wayne, and she looks at me, and she goes, "Hi." Well, I can't do her Australian accent. I shouldn't anyway. I walked in, and I saw her, and she goes, "Hey. Michael he wants to meet Jimmy Pardo, but he's afraid." I don't know if that's Australian. And so I looked at him and I go, "What?" And he goes, "Well, I don't want to bother him before a show." And she goes, "Yeah. So I mean, anything you do?" I go, "Well, come on with me. Let's go." So we went into the little kind of green room where they were, And Jimmy turns around and shakes my hand. And I go, Jimmy, this is Michael Wayne. And Michael, this is Jimmy Pardo. And they shook hands, and he was very gracious. And then Alice put her hand out before I could even say, this is Alice Fraser, because she is a networker. Oh my God, did I see that this weekend? Dude, it's so funny. Like, because 2 years ago she came here, and she was kind of wide-eyed. That's how I'd put it. You know, she was just like, this is an amazing experience. And when I saw her this time, dude, she was really good at marketing and networking and business. She wound up getting a guest set at Podsmash, and just it was because she's getting famous. Like, she just sold a special to the equivalent of ABC in Australia. She's doing her shows in London and in Australia. She's a fucking monster, dude. All I can hope is that she remembers me when she's fucking famous and goes, hey, you want to open for me? That'd be fantastic. And I'll go, yeah, I hope so. Like, what country? And she'll say Finland, and I'll get there, and then she'll like have me like load a bunch of equipment in, probably. I don't know. But then she introduced herself to Jimmy, and then Jimmy talked a little bit, and I know before a show he doesn't want to sit there and have a long conversation. And I kind of barged in and brought them in to meet him, and then so everybody shook hands. And there was kind of this moment of silence. I go, all right, get out. And Alice Fraser kind of laughed, and Michael looked at me, and Pardo Blurt laughed, and I go, no, I'm serious, man, get out, go. He's got a show. Like I was fucking security or something. Well, the thing is, I was teasing, but I certainly said it in a way that made it look like I might not be teasing. And I'm just hoping that maybe they knew me and they knew what I was doing, but also at the same time, you know, Jimmy's got a show. So they just walked out. Like, they turned around and walked out, and Jimmy laughed. And he looks at me and he goes, you know, they hate you now. And I said, I have no idea if that's true. But I will tell you this, I did not talk to either of them the rest of the day. So perhaps they do hate me. I have no clue. The next time I saw Alice was after the closing party of Podfest. It's like 1 a.m, everybody's leaving the hotel. And she's like, I fly tomorrow night at 11 o'clock. We need to have a cup of tea, which I think meant she wanted me to do her podcast. But then we did not. I did not talk to her on Monday. She wound up getting back on a plane over the coast. So I did not do her podcast. You know what? I did do some dude's podcast, though. I should put this on the fucking Joker's page, but I'll go ahead and find it right now since we're talking about this. Some guy came up to me. Look, you know me. I'm kind of an idiot. I had a great time there. Like I said, I went to the meet and greet party, and there was Sarah J. Jack Dagger, my friend of mine, was there with this guy Mason, who looked like Larry Fine, and then I wound up talking to the Hansons and Heidi and Mel, and Alice was there, and other people were there at the meet and greet, and it was fun to see them. And then Friday, I wound up going to dinner with where did I go that night? I went with the Hansons and Jane, our friend Jane Lear, who probably is mad that I just said her last name, but whatever. But she was cool, and the four of us went out to an Italian joint, and we got some food, and then I made Jane put my Italian food in her room for the next 4 days because I didn't want to take it with me because I was Ubering after the show because I'm a successful comedian. So, I went to a Podfest, and then afterwards I had to go drive people around for a while to make some extra spare fucking folding cash. God damn it, what a failure. And then Saturday was my show, and then I had to pick up Lily. I got her at 4 o'clock. We wound up at the hotel, and, we had an amazing time. The show went so well. We get there, and I was a little worried. You know me, I want to sound check with them, and I don't want to handle the tech. I want Lily to do everything, and I just want to figure, because I just get in my head. Now, it's worse when I'm alone. No, bullshit. It's okay when I'm alone, because I know me and I know what I can do, because if anything happens, I can save myself. But when I'm doing a show with guys like Jess and Mickey, I don't fucking know Jess and Mickey. I mean, I just don't. So, Jess, I should say. I don't know Mickey. So I didn't know how he would be, so then I'm like, am I going to offend this guy? And I had written Jess. I said, is it okay if I bust his balls? All that, and he goes, yeah, dude, Mikey, and he calls me Mikey, which is ridiculous. He's like, do whatever you want. We're excited. We love it. We're thrilled. We're in your hands. And so I'm in the green room. No, it's not even in the green room. I was in the pool area. No, fuck that. That was the spa area I was in. I went and hid in the spa area to try to learn some jokes. And just do some research on Mickey and Jess. And I had done a little bit that day anyway. And this is funny. I'm at my house, and I'm like, you know what? I'll print out Jess's IMDb page and take it with me just to scan it when I get to the fucking hotel. I hit print, and I didn't realize Jess's IMDb page, 22 pages long. Holy fuck. I mean, again, the guy's a gift because, I mean, as I told you, I knew him from Rock Sugar, and then I found out he's Wacko from the Animaniacs and everything else. It was ridiculous. So his IMDb page is churning out at my house while I'm getting dressed. I go pick up Lily. We go to the hotel. We meet people. We say hi. I hide in the spa. I'm going over his material. And then they show up. They call me, and then I hand the phone to Lily, and then she gets them, and she brings them upstairs. And Jess is just as a fucking rock star. So he walks in the room, he's dressed like a rock star. Mickey is a really good looking version of a rock star. Not that Jess isn't, but they're rock stars. They come walking in with all their fucking hair, and I just kind of start talking to them, and let me tell you, Jess Harnell is a miracle. When we first started doing Never Not Funny, and I told people this over the weekend, Jimmy, one of the caveats of having guests was Jimmy goes, I want people who get it. And when we talked, we agreed, you got to have people who get it. You got to have people who are ready to trade and have fun. And you don't want to interview anybody. You don't want to just get somebody who's going to be a fucking lump and you got to pry shit out of them. They have to kind of be able to jump right into a race car and go around the track with you, or else they're going to smash into a wall and we're not going to stop and pick them up. We're just going to laugh and lap them. But when I met Jess, again, I heard about the band. You guys know the whole story. And I will tell you this. If you don't know who Rock Sugar is, you'll know a little bit more after this week's show. But then next week, I'm going to put out, as a bonus episode, just a rerun, I'm going to put out the original show I did with Rock Sugar. And part of me thought I should do that now, and then next week put this one up. But I don't want to take 2 whole fucking weeks for this. Or maybe I should have put it out Monday and said, hey, here's a surprise of Rock Sugar. And, in retrospect, there's a lot of things I should have done differently in my life and this week and last week and the past 5 years and the past 10 years. Those all sorts of things I could have done in my life that would have probably made me happier or more successful or more loved. I don't know. So I will be putting that episode out because then you'll hear Rock Sugar. You'll hear me talk to Chuck and Jess, and you'll hear us have fun, and we'll dissect the first album. And then you'll get an idea of who these guys were. But again, like I said, when I learned who they were, I only knew they were in a fucking band. And then I Googled Jess and I found out he's a fucking machine. Then I start talking to the guy, and he could not have been more funny or accommodating, and he gets it. He totally gets it. And he's a guy, and he's been very gracious to me. He's like, we do a ton of these at Comic-Cons. We talk to people all the time, and you are it. Like, you are. We love you, man. We would do anything you asked, anytime, anywhere. And I'm grateful for that because, again, I will tap them eventually to either come do something live or maybe something in the studio. When the new album comes out, I'm definitely going to grab them. But it was just amazing to have them show the same confidence in me that I showed in them as guests, and they understood that they were going to come in and do the job. I knew they were. I didn't know. Again, we didn't know each other, but we gave each other over to one another, and it turned out to be great. He gets it. He's funny. Jess is one of those dudes. He's a gift too. That's the thing. Not only is he a guy in a band and then a voiceover dude with tons of fucking stories, but he knows how to tell them. He's not just like, well, I went into a booth. No, fuck though. Jess is the kind of guy you could sit down. He reminds me of David Lee Roth. He's that guy where you could look at him and go, hey, man, so Jess, how's it going? And then he would talk for half an hour. And then you go, that's great. And tell me about this. And then he would talk for another half hour and the show would be over. That's who he is. He's just a guy who's able to get it done. And like I said, it reminded me of David Lee Roth. But also, he's one of those dudes where like everything's great. And that is fascinating to me because I think if you know me, you know I'm not that dude. I'm always waiting for the other shoe. I'm always waiting for a bad thing to happen. I'm always wondering what I've done or what I'm going to do to kind of maybe screw things up a little bit. And I'm trying not to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy all the way. But that is a person that I carry inside me, and he creeps out every once in a while. And by that, I mean about 85% of the time. But still, that's a good improvement to have 15% of a guy who's optimistic now, right? Well, Jess is 115% optimistic. Everywhere he goes, this is great. We're the fucking best guys and the coolest guys in the room, and everybody here wants to meet us and be with us. That's who he is. Like, and I mean, the entire time we were talking to him in the spa or afterwards, or when he was leaving or splitting, I mean, everybody he talked to was charmed by him. Everybody was taken by him because he makes eye contact, he grabs their hand, he looks at them, and he talks, and especially if you've got a vagina. Oh my God, that dude. He talks to everybody, but if you got a vagina, forget about it. He's gonna stare right at you, and you're gonna get sucked into his tractor beam. His rock star, I'm on stage connecting with 100,000 people tractor beam. When he puts it just on you and your vagina, forget about it. Lily was she was quivering. It was ridiculous. And look, that happens every week when she's here. Certainly, no doubt, when she's this close. When she's here this close to me and my magnetism. But when she got by Jess, it's funny, if you see the video eventually once it does get released, she's just got her hand on his leg a few times. It's like she's not even thinking about it. And just kind of happened. And good for them. I mean, if that's what they wanted to do, I wasn't going to interfere with it. I'm just the host, man. I'm just trying to facilitate. I'm trying to get things moving is what I'm doing. So at PodFest, So Friday we got back from dinner and we're in the hallway and I'm hearing about the other shows that are going on. And then, like I said, Saturday I came in and there was a podcast lab. And I think I've talked about this every year. There's a podcast lab, which is like these podcasters who are not involved in the festival can come to the lab and podcast from the festival. And they're grabbing people out of the hallway and they're interviewing people and they're doing guests. And the funny thing is, every time I walk into the room and all right, let me back up. They're in there interviewing people. And they're grabbing people out of the hallway. They're going, hey, could you do me a favor? Hey, could you talk on my show? Hey, could you do this? And I never get grabbed. Nobody comes to me and goes, hey, would you do my show? Hey, Mike, I'd love to have you. Hey, Mike, can we step inside and get you on my... Nobody. In the podcast lab, in the 5 years I've been doing this, nobody's grabbed me. Now, have people recorded me in the hallway? I've had a couple people do it. I had a guy last year, and unfortunately, of course, I don't remember his show, but his show is now ended. And then... this year, I got stopped by a gentleman who does a podcast called Drinking at Bible Study. Drinking at Bible Study is the name of the podcast. And he interviewed me in the hallway, and he asked me a bunch of questions, and he was very nice. He's a huge fan of the show. And I think his name was John, I hope to God. I don't remember off the top of my head. But he did contact me on Twitter. He's like, this is the podcast. So it's up now on Libsyn. If you go to the Drinking at Bible Study podcast, if you Google that or find it on Libsyn, you will hear his recording of me last week, which was in a hallway, and which seems weird, right? Because he's a Jesus guy, and you're like, well, why are you talking to fucking Mike? And I started to swear, and I didn't even think about it. I go, dude, am I supposed to not like be swearing on your show? And he's like, no, don't even worry about it. It's totally cool, man. And then in my head, I'm like, well, because he's never gonna fucking use this. Obviously, he's pretending to talk to me. So there was him at the Drinking at Bible Study podcast. Look it up and hear me rambling in a hallway. But I mean, for 5 years, nobody has ever grabbed me in the Podfest lab. And I purposefully have gone into the room. And, you have to walk right past it when you walk through the hallway. Well, you can walk in one door and walk through the room and walk out the other door. So I did it. I've done it every single fucking year. I've done it to show my face, to like blaze in and go, just because they're all talking. They're all sitting there, or they're not talking. They're just sitting there with their equipment and they're talking to one another. And I would walk in. Now, look, I recognize that you want big names, or you want big faces, or you want guys with personalities that are huge in the podcasting industry, in the podcasting world. And I understand that, and maybe you don't recognize me. But if you see a dude walk into the Podfest lab and you have a show, wouldn't you think to say, hey man, do you have a podcast? Hey, you want to do mine? Because you know what? You brought your gear to a fucking random hotel to just interview people. Why the fuck wouldn't you grab me and go, hey dude, let's talk? And then look, I recognize that's my weird insecurity, and that's my fucking, hey man, I'm somebody. I'm a podcaster. Talk to me, damn it. I understand it's me. But I every year, a couple times I'll walk in the room, and every time I do, something, they're talking. There's some shows they're conducting actual interviews, but some shows it's just dudes sitting there talking, and they have their equipment all set up, and they're like talking to one another. They're not looking around. They're not recruiting guests. They're certainly not looking at me, and they're just like talking about podcasting and what they're doing and they've got to get some people to talk. And I'm just sitting there going, man, I'm right here. And believe me, I could fill up all your fucking airwaves. None of you guys would have to fucking talk. You could literally, you know who I am? I'm the Jess Harnell of podcasting. Say, hey, Mike, how's it going? And I'll talk for a fucking half an hour, and you've got that week's episode, motherfucker. That's what you've got. Now, will anybody ever listen to that episode? Will they think I'm funny, or will they know who I am? Of course not. But still, I'll give you content. No one's going to like it, but I'll give you plenty of goddamn content. See, that's all bullshit. Everybody's going to love it because I'm a fucking genius. And the second you get me in there and I start talking, maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're intimidated. Maybe they talk to me in their show, and then I'm the fucking man, and I come in there with a fucking tsunami of information and a blizzard of words and every other natural disaster you could think of that involves gerunds and adjectives. And then they're like, holy fuck, this just exacerbates the fact that we're terrible at this. Which is why you need me, though. Get me for 1 week so everybody goes, oh my God, they're turning the corner. And I buy you 6 more months of people listening, waiting for a guy like me to walk in the fucking door again, right? But not the case. I walk through, nobody says a fucking word to me. Nobody. So I go to Never Not Funny on Sunday. I did my show Saturday night, and then we hung out, and then we went out to Chinese food. It was fucking gorgeous. It was me, Lily, Heidi, South Philly Paul, and Jane. Jane went again. So there's 5 of us at the Mandaret for Chinese, and I got a lion's head soup. Everybody else got their food, and the funny part is we had to wait. We walked in at 9:45, and I said, "Hey, are we good?" Because I mean, look, you don't close until 10 or 10:30 on a Saturday, so I'm like, "Hey, man, are we good here?" And I fully expect him to go, "Yeah, man, totally, have a seat." And the guy goes, we close at 10. And look, you guys know me. You've been here 9 years. You know enough about me to know that when you say that to me, all I want to do is run out of your fucking establishment. 5 people just walked in. That's at least $65 worth of food you're about to sell. And you're going to tell me that you close in 15 minutes? Well, you know what? You're still open for fucking 15 minutes. I hate that. It's my pet peeve. It's when you walk into a restaurant, because I'll normally, like I said, I'll check. It's at Five Guys or anybody. I'll go, hey, dudes, is it too late? And they'll go, no, man, never too late. Because it's, 5 minutes to 10 or whatever the fuck. You know why? Because they want to make $8 more or $10 more or $12 more. And maybe I throw a couple of bucks in the fucking tip jar. That's how it works. But when you walk into a fucking establishment, and that's a dying establishment, by the way, because I used to go to this fucking joint all the time, and we knew the family that owned it. There's this woman, Candy, and her entire Asian family, Asian servers, everybody. It was that thing where it was like an Asian server, and he had a really heavy accent, and he said his name was Dave. And then there were a couple more waiters, and they also said their name was Dave. That was the American name they decided on, was going to be Dave. 3 Chinese guys named Dave. 7 Chinese brothers named Dave, and one of them drank the ocean. And then we would go there all the time, and it was fun, and we actually knew their name, and they knew us. Then one day I go in there, and there's like an American guy behind the fucking bar, and they've got a giant television with the Lakers on, and the servers are Indian and white. And I'm like, what the fuck happened here? And it turns out that the family sold it. I hadn't been there in like 4 months. This is around 2009. It was after all the fucking crash happened in 2008, after The Big Short happened, after Steve Carell and Christian Bale wound up making a ton of money. They made a fuck ton of money, but they put the Mandarin out of business, or at least made Candy's family sell it. So I walked in, and sure enough, the changes these guys made was they put in a fucking television set, and they hired non-Asian servers. And I'm like, you just fucking destroyed the authenticity of this joint. And look, they kept the food. The food is still delicious. I'm sure they kept the chefs, but it just rubbed me the wrong way, because I had a waiter one time. I went there with fucking Bill, Kilt Bill, and this fucking waiter starts to explain to me like what Chinese food is, and I'm like, dude, you're fucking Indian. Like I trust me, I'm a lot more Chinese than you are. I don't give a fuck how close your country is to that country. I've been here before. I knew Candy. Goddammit. I'll tell you what. I know all about the Asians. I know all about World War II. I don't know why I got to bring that up. And that's not China, really. Unless I want to talk about the rape of Nanking. I probably don't. I'll tell you what, here's what you don't do when you go to a Chinese restaurant. Do not bring up the rape of Nanking. At least when they have an Asian family who owns it. Now, with all these Indian dudes and American dudes over, I bet I could talk about the rape of Nanking right between bites of fucking soup and nobody'd care. Yeah, they actually have a dish called the Rape of Nanking. That's how badly things have changed over at the Mandarin now. I used to just go in there, get a strawberry shrimp and a fucking lion's head soup. Now I get the Rape of Nanking, and then I just get a Jello mold in the shape of that little girl who's running down the street naked in Vietnam. That's what they serve at this place. That's how totally out of touch they are with Asian culture. So we go in there, but the funny part is there's the actor who was waiting on us, and that's true. He was a gorgeous man. There was no doubt. He's probably like 29, but just really good looking. He looked like, and because this will sound like it's not good looking, but it is. He looked like a young Jim Carrey, but better looking. If you see Jim Carrey when he was a young man, he was really good looking, in my opinion. But this guy looked like him, but also with like a model type of look to him. And his hair was just so, and he came over and he fed us. And look, to his credit, he took our orders and he blasted them out real quick. They brought the food and it was hot. The food was delicious. But still, you could tell they had that weird attitude where they're like, well, these guys are here late. We'd really like to get out of here. What do you mean you'd like to get out of here, man? Then go get another fucking job. You're open till 10. Feed me, motherfucker. But the best part was every time the guy would bring food to the table, Lily was, because this is after the show, okay? So Lily was very bawdy in the show, as you'll hear later on. Lily, when she gets a microphone, she decides, oh, hey, you know what? I'm going to go Bret Michaels and I'm going to talk dirty to you. That's how she's going to do it. Because that's who she is. And she's having fun. And which is exactly what I wanted. I demanded that she have a microphone because I wanted her to have fun and interplay with us a little bit. So she was a little dirty, but she still had it in her. So then afterwards, she's being dirty with podcast fans, and she's being dirty with friends and strangers alike. And that's just who she is as a person. It's kind of her bawdy personality. She's got a Sophie Tucker thing happening, but with a Kit Natividad edge. Actually, it's more of a Sophie Tucker edge with a Kit Natividad body. Anyway. We go to dinner and we're sitting there, and this is the truth. Every time the dude would come over to bring us more food, whether he was bringing us hoisin sauce or he was bringing us our fucking soup or bun, we ordered fucking scallion pancakes. He kept bringing, because he was the only guy waiting on it. So there's 5 of us. He's got to bring our entrees out like a couple at a time. Every time he came over, Lily was telling some story, and it ended with her getting 4 cocks in her mouth. I'm not even exaggerating. Like Heidi will tell you, and I say that because I know you're all going to call her. I'm an idiot. But the thing is, none of us betrayed it. We didn't laugh. Nobody was like, ha, ha, ha. Every time he'd come over, he'd just come walking over, and then like Lily would be like, yeah, and then I got 2 guys with their thumbs in my ass and 1 guy with his dick in my mouth, and the only thing I can think of is, hey, man, where's my map of Germany? And then the guy would walk away. And there would be a beat, and we'd just keep talking, and because we're used to Lily. I'm used to Lily, certainly. That's who she is. the guy would come over and she'd be like, yeah, so I'm going down on this chick and this other chick's going down on me. And pretty soon we just got this daisy chain that stretches all the way into the goddamn backyard. And the next thing I know, the fucking neighbor's banging me through a knothole in the fence. And then the guy leaves to go have a fucking Coke. So finally, like the third time it happens, he walks over and she's like, oh, by the time this was over, I'm covered with so much cum. It looks like Twinkie the kid got hit with a car. There's a beat, and then Heidi just goes, you keep walking over here at the perfect time. And he goes, oh my God, yeah, I absolutely, there's no doubt. Like, this is perfect. And Lily's like, yeah, I'm sorry. This is just who I am. And he's like, no. And she goes, well, I didn't know if I don't want to offend you. He goes, well, you're not going to offend me. I was hoping to hear what would come next. I was waiting to hear everything. I was keeping track, which was fantastic. Every time he walked over, he heard some horrible, filthy thing. But it was the greatest, the fucking best. And then after that, we went back to the hotel and we hung out. It was really fun. And I had a great time with fans. And then Sunday, like I said, I went to Never Not Funny. We walked in and we were watching that. And I had to step out of the room at one point. And when I did, a guy came over to me and he goes, hey, Mike. He goes, are you leaving? Are you going back in to see Never Not Funny? I said, I'm going to go back in a second. He goes, well, I'm in charge of the podcast lab. So I'm coming to get you because, we have shows in here that are looking for guests all the time. And I would love to see if you would be interested in possibly doing something like that. And look, this is the time where you could play coy and you could say to yourself, well, maybe, man, if I'm available. But I looked at him and I go, I will do any show you have. And he says, well, that's great. But I mean, it's just, there's a lot of people that are always looking for people. He goes, no, dude, I'm telling you. I said, I will do any show that you got. If anybody wants me as a guest, grab me. I'm here. I'm in the hallway after Never Not Funny. Grab me. And then a woman wanders out, and I had met her at the meet and greet at the party, and it was I think she hosts a podcast called Movies That Made Us. I don't remember exactly, but she came out and she goes, hey man, I'd love to have you as a guest. I said, great, I would love to do the show. Just tell me when. I'll be here. Grab me. And she said, great, I'd love to do it. And Aaron's like, fantastic, Mike, thank you so much. I felt weird asking you. I know you're busy watching Never Not Funny. I go, no, I'm heading back in there. But afterwards, absolutely, I'll talk to every show you have. Anybody who wants to speak to me, that'd be fantastic. He goes, fantastic, thank you. And I went in and I watched the rest of Never Not Funny, and then I stepped out. And then after we did the meet and greet with everybody, because, all the Never Not Funny people got their pictures taken, then me, Kyle, Pat Francis, Heidi, and Mel went to lunch. And we wound up going to an Italian joint I had brought Jane and the Hansons to a couple days prior. And I got a fridge right now full of rigatoni and fucking chicken cutlets. It's gorgeous. God damn, I love rigatoni. So they got that in there. And we go to dinner and we have a fucking huge lunch and we're laughing, we're cracking up, we're having a good time. And I go back to the hotel and I pop, I drop them off. And then I come back later for the party and I see Aaron and I see that woman who's from the movies. And nobody asked me. He didn't grab me to be on a show. She didn't ask me to do her show. Nobody grabs me. I'm there for the fucking last 4 hours of the night. And I saw them, and the podcast lab was still humming, but everybody was in party mode at that point. So the only person who approached me and said, hey man, would you do my show? And happened to have a fucking, and he did it during the party actually, was our great friend at Drinking at Bible Study. So go find that. It's at Libsyn or whatever. And it's just me talking to a guy in a hallway, and it's like 10 minutes, but it's fucking cool. And it was nice of him to ask. So because he was nice enough to approach me, I'm nice enough to go ahead and plug it. Why don't you guys go ahead and be nice enough to listen to it? You're not going to hear anything revelatory. You're just going to hear me talking like I always do. But why not let him get some downloads, huh? Let's be fans. Let's be fun, cool people to him, because he was a nice guy. John? I don't know. Fucking Jesus? Perhaps that's what it was. But Podfest was an amazing and fun experience, as it always is. And Dave and Graham and Chris are so gracious to have me. And I went to them and I thanked them again for having me, because they're keeping me afloat. They're the ones who keep me in the eyes of people. I mean, I don't really go out and do much stuff. Oh, I'll tell you this. This is funny. I've made a decision where I'm just going to do live stuff more. I have to. So I don't want to say what city it is, but I knew of a theater. I found out someone referred me to a theater, so I contacted them and I was like, hey, would you guys be open in December? And they said, no, not yet. We have a lot of Christmas stuff. I said, okay, the website didn't have that listed, but how about January? I said, I'd actually like to do a Friday and a Saturday, because I would come to town and I would do 2 different stories on different nights. I would do 2 completely different shows. Because I'm planning to put a CD together, and it'd be nice for me to go ahead and run some stories and figure how that works. And I think my fans would come both nights, but I'm not sure. And she was very nice. And she said, we don't usually rent to anybody 2 nights in a row. If you wanted to do 2 shows in one night, that might make sense. But I don't know if that would make sense to you guys, because then you got to come twice and they would make you buy tickets twice, and who the fuck knows. So I said, all right, great. Get me back the rates and we'll figure it out. Because it's a really nice theater. It seats about 140. And it just looks nice. When I saw it online, I was like, this is great. And she wrote me and she's like, fantastic. I mean, this really sounds great. It's $2,500 to rent the theater for the night. And then it's $30 an hour for the bartender. And it's $20 an hour for the manager and $20 an hour for this. And I'm reading this, $2,500 for the night. I tried to I tried to do the math in my head. Okay. I didn't try to do it. I fucking did it. Like even, because it's a comedy theater, but it's not exact. I mean, I checked, and it's not. They've got open mic nights and stuff like that, and improv groups. Unless every ticket you charge is $20, you're not getting that from any show you ever do. Why would you? Because I thought it was going to be the theaters I usually rent are anywhere from $250 to $400 a night. You pay that. And then this place had a bar, so they'd keep the bar. Like I'd pay to rent the room, and then they'd keep whatever the bar was. I'd sell the tickets, I'd keep the ticket money, and that's how I try to do it when I go out. $2,500. So I wrote her back, and I just went, Did you mean to write $2,500 or $250? Because if it's the former, I'm going to have to bow out gracefully. Now, the theaters I usually rent are between $250 and $400. And this is like 3 hours ago, and she had been replying promptly, but I have not heard from her since. So maybe she thinks that I'm no longer worth it or I'm not big time enough. But $2,500 a night for a 140-seat theater. So you're charging, even if I sell because I'm going to sell the tickets myself, and even if on a good night, I'm going to sell 70 tickets. All right, so that's. I would make, I charge $20 a ticket, and even if I sold 70, which is the most I've ever sold when I did a fucking show, that's still $1,000 less than they would need for the room, not even counting the staff and all that kind of bullshit. So one of the things that always drove me crazy was trying to find live venues and writing people and hearing back. Or not hearing back and it taking forever. So it was so cool that I wrote this woman and she wrote me back in like 5 hours. And then I wrote her, she wrote me back in an hour. I was so excited we're making progress. And then she dropped a $2,500 anvil on my fucking dick. And I was like, oh man, I can't fucking do that. And now I haven't heard from her since. I'm hoping that she'll write me and go, oh no, I hit a zero. I didn't mean to do that. It's $250. And then you got to pay for everybody and we keep the bar because that's what I would want. I mean, keep the food, keep the bar. We'll come. I'll make sure everybody comes and buys food and all that stuff. And then I'll get the room for, and again, also that's for 2 hours, by the way, because they book 2 or 3 shows a night. So she wants me to pay $2,500 for one segment of the night, and they still would run like an improv show after me. And I guarantee you those motherfuckers aren't paying $2,500. So I'm assuming that these people own the theater and they let their friends perform there for whatever price, but then when an outsider comes in, that's when they get the fucking long knives out. And I could be wrong. I don't know. Because again, she was very pleasant and very nice and very professional, but just $2,500, man. And again, maybe that's on me. Maybe things have changed since I went back out and did the Kickstarter and traveled all over. Because that was the fucking hard thing. I'm not going to lie, was the fucking digging and the finding and the writing and the emailing and the looking for places and shit like that. And then securing dates. And it's not hard. It's just arduous. It's just me, I don't like the work. I just want to call somebody and have them go, hey, you're the famous Mike Schmidt. Let's put you in here. But I can't even get fucking interviewed by amateurs in a goddamn podcast lab. Not even amateurs. Pros. We're all fucking amateurs. This is just amateur night. Nobody's paying me except you guys are. I guess you're paying me. I'm not an amateur, but you know what the fuck I mean. I mean, anybody with a laptop and a microphone can fucking do this. And I couldn't even get those motherfuckers to interview me in the goddamn room, and they're all talking amongst themselves. I'm going to go ahead and get this woman to lower her price to bring me up to fucking Portland or whatever. Well, all right, that's the city. It was Portland. Because why I chose Portland is because I do well there. I've been there twice. I've done very well, and I've been in that area. And people come from other cities. People come from Seattle and stuff like that, where they go to see the show, and it's fucking beautiful. So I mean, and also they got a Pock Pock, they got a Voodoo Donuts. It's all I fucking need. So whatever. They were very nice. They were lovely people. And hopefully she's written me as I've been talking to you guys and said, oh no, dude, I totally meant $250, because that would be fucking great, because then I'd be coming to see you guys soon. But if not, then it's back to the old internet grind and trying to find a fucking theater that'll have me, which is not, like I said, it happens eventually. It's just a matter of having to do it over and fucking over and send them notes. I don't even know how the fuck I spun off into that. All right, let's do some plugs. I'll just tell you fucking guys that you guys can get me at MikeandMikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40yearoldboy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40yearoldboy. You can follow me at Instagram.com. Is it .com or is it online only? I don't fucking know. I think you have to do it just with your phone. But get your Instagram app out and look for Mike40YOB. And I'm there. And you can look at the photographs I've put up, 11 of them. I think I should probably put up more stuff. I keep telling myself, man, go be more social media oriented. You got to do this. It's the way to do it. Because I got verified on Twitter. I was like, I'm going to go out and do a tour, and I want to get people on board. And when I get a verified check mark, people will be more apt to follow me and listen to what I have to say. And so I need to exploit that, or need to use it more often. But also this past week, other than PodFest, I haven't done a fucking thing. I mean, I literally have come to my house and stared because, present circumstances in last week's show, and you guys know what the fuck is going on. And again, you've been very nice to reach out, and I'm trying to. I keep throwing I keep spinning the grappling hook on the rope and throwing it to the top of the hole and climbing up, and then something will happen and I will fall back in. And I'm not saying that in some weird way like, boo-hoo, poor Mike. I'm saying it because you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've been through a relationship that ended. You've been through a baby dying, as I mentioned earlier in the fucking show. Those things happen, and it just fucking, it pushes you into a fucking free fall. And then you try to claw and scrape and pull and climb. And that's what I'm doing, and you guys are helping. Thank you. Appreciate it. But like I said, you can go to all those places and find me Instagram, and maybe I'll take some photos here at the bottom of the hole and put them up for you guys, and you can like them or not. But those will be up there for your perusal. I should be doing that. More promotion for the show and other things, and for these inevitable road work that I've told you so much about as I contact all these theaters and get told no. David Hernandez does all of the artwork for this show. He is the coolest guy in the world, and he is, he's. Oh fuck! There's another thing I got to tell you. I'll tell you on the way out. Well, no, there is no way out because they're closing with the show. I'll just tell you this. Another kind of a cliffhanger deal that we've been dealing with. If you're not on Facebook, you wouldn't know this. I've already posted it, but I'll tell you now. Just today, I got an email and a phone call from my lawyer, Daryl, affiliated through my insurance company, and he said, "Hey, Mr. Schmidt, this is Daryl. Calling to let you know that there's been an adjudication in your small claims case, and you have been exonerated, and you do not need to pay cocksucker any amount of money whatsoever. We won. I wanted to let you know that. I wanted to make sure you knew it, and I wanted to tell you if you have any questions, you can contact me. I don't think he's going to try again. I don't think he's going to come after you, but if he does, obviously call us, and we will just step right in and do exactly what we did this time, and hopefully get the same result. I will also tell you I've been unable to locate your podcast. Once I do, I would, maybe you can call me and let me know exactly where I should be looking for it. But I'm very curious to hear what you had to say regarding the procedure and the process. So go ahead and get back to me when you can. And that was today. So then I, of course, sent Dave I said, Mex, I went online and I saw the actual result, and I sent it to David. And we made a few changes to it, and we put it up in the Joker's page, the fan club page, and I did that, I don't know, today. But yeah, so I have been adjudicated. I have been vindicated. I do not have to pay cocksucker one fucking dime for him swerving in front of me and generating an accident that should never have occurred. So something that happened on December 19th was finally resolved on September 29th. And I'm very happy for that. So I don't owe him money, but I will tell you this week I got a tax bill from the IRS for $1,000. So it all, it's all relative, folks. He sued me for $1,500. I don't have to fucking pay him a dime. However, the IRS has said, hey, excuse me, sir, we'd like some more. And they showed up with like the little kid in Oliver with a fucking bowl, and I'm supposed to fill it with money by October 6th. I can pay them some. I can't pay them a lot because I am digging, as you know, folks. Things have changed around here. Things are very different. So I have to figure out how the fuck to do that. So luckily I don't have to pay him, but I do have to pay the IRS, and I've got a date for that. And but I'd much rather, fuck that. I'd much rather give the IRS money than this cunt who fucking swerved in front of me and caused an accident. Take that, cocksucker. You lose. So I sent it to Dave, and he went ahead and worked it up, and he put it on the Facebook page, and he did some strategic changes. But it's fucking great. I was really happy about it. I was very excited. So Dave does all the music and the artwork. You can go to facebook.com/David Mex Hernandez and be his friend on there. And if you want, you can go to artbydmh.com, artbydmh.com. And David is in a barbarian phase. He's got a lot of Frazetta in him, so he's doing a lot of paintings of like barbarians and big fucking Vikings with axes and horns and the whole fucking nine. And those paintings are for sale. Now we've got his Valscapes and his Gycons. Those are also available. And also he's done some a limited run of some musicians. I think there's a Keith Moon still available, but he's been recently doing the Frazetta stuff, more Vikings and blood, and really, really intricate, amazing, fun, cool work. And you can find it at artbydmh.com. That's artbydmh.com. Our friend Ryan Dirks does all the web stuff for us. Go to facebook.com/Ryan Dirks. I actually have to contact him because I'm going to make some changes because, well, that's what I do. I make changes. Remember that this show is sponsored by MileIQ.com. That's MileIQ.com. If you go to MileIQ.com/invite/HFVHB and use them to take control of your mileage for your taxes, you will get savings or your miles all grabbed, and I'll get like a $25 gift card to use on the net, the intranet. So go to MileIQ.com/invite/HFVHB and sign up at $6 a month, and it does a really cool job of keeping track of all of your driving and all of your mileage for work and or pleasure. If you want to become a Lyft driver, go to Lyft.com and use my code MIKE, MIKE 720057. MIKE 720057, become a Lyft driver, and you'll be driving more for Lyft than I am because Lyft won't fucking approve my Camry because I've sent them 4 different times. I've sent them insurance, and I've sent them that I had it looked at by my mechanic, Dave, at Morgan Auto. Oh, I shouldn't say, fuck, that's where he works. My mechanic, Dave, he is taking care of business, and he's always been good to me, so he filled out my form after he inspected the car, and now I've sent this off to Lyft, and they're like, oh, we need more information. It's like, what the fuck do you need, man? It's a car, it works, it's been inspected, I gave you the insurance, everything's fine. So my point is, if you want to drive for them and get on the road and make me the money that I can't make with them, use my code MIKE, MIKE 720057. They'll be happy, and so will I. If you want to be an Uber driver, the more rides you complete, the more money I get. I think it's if you do 10, I make $100. Up to 50, I make $500. Something like that. I don't know how the fuck they're doing it now. They got a sliding scale. But if you go to Uber.com and use my code DJZW1YTTUE, that's DJZW1YTTUE, DJZW, the number 1, YTTUE, you can become an Uber driver like me and make tons of money, unlike me. They've changed things I talked about last week, but, I'm still chasing it. That's what I got to do for now. But the cool thing is I'll be able to drive 1 billion years, and then I can come see you guys on the road, and I got plans. I got big plans. I'm smart, not like everybody says. So that's Uber, that's Lyft, that's MileIQ.com. They are they really support this show, even though they don't know it. They don't fucking, sponsor, whatever the fuck. So that's all available. Go ahead and do those things. If you go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com, this is very important. I will tell you this. Go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com. We've got all sorts of cool stuff. Like I said, this week we're putting out Podfest for you to keep and enjoy. Now, if you still want to make a donation to the show because you went, oh man, I can't believe Mike gave us a cool live show, that would be great. So when you go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com, go to the Joe Business page, and we've got Yurt shirts available, Yurt shirts, those are available. And then we've got all the live stuff. Like I said, all the Podfests from 2012. We've got Stop Making Schmidt. We've got Schmitty Comes Alive. We've got Schmidt Alive 2. And those are available now. You can purchase those. And you know what? Why not buy one of those and pretend like you're buying this new one that I just released for free because I'm your best pal. You can do that, or you can just make a donation to the show, which is available right there on the page. In the upper left-hand corner of every page, there's a donation button. Click on that. Send us a donation. That would be great. I would appreciate it. It would really help out the show, especially with me having to pay for $2,500 theaters like a fucking dickbag. We've got the, like I said, the live stuff. The CD is available as well. The Dirt shirts. We've still got the deal with tweakedaudio.com/40YOB. We've got the Heroes album that Dave did, which is a tribute to his heroes. We've got Word Pimp Schmitty and the Misanthropic Gangster. That's an album with, that's the official music from the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast. Those are available with a small donation to the show. What else do we sell on that website? I think that's it, man. Oh, you know what? I'll tell you this. We used to have mystery shirts. That's right. I did say used to. I just shipped out the last 2 mystery shirts today. I sent one to our friend Alessandro. I sent one to our friend Chuck, which was nice, and they got them, and hopefully they enjoy them. I don't want to say who got what because, again, it's a mystery. But hopefully they'll report back. And here's the thing: is Alessandro's like, "Hey man, send me a mystery shirt. I take a large." I got news for you, Alessandro. mystery shirts are mystery shirts for a reason. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're going to get. And I'm going to throw this out there to you guys. It's a little poll. It's you guys can guess. And not that you're buying them fucking anyway. Should I continue with the mystery shirt premise? Should I continue with the mystery shirt conceit? And then if people buy one, just send them some junky shirt I got in my house? Because that sounds like fucking dumb, right? Like Mex and I talked about it and we laughed our balls off because we thought it was fucking hilarious. Just the idea, because it was like when I did the Kickstarter and I gave away fucking CDs of my show. And some people were enraged by the CDs they got and some people thought they were very fun and happy. Well, that's the thing with shirts. Like, I have every shirt we've ever done a show shirt for, where we, in New York or Boston, Atlanta, all those, I have those in my sizes, but I don't think I'm going to be giving those away because I want them. That's the whole point. But if I should continue the mystery shirt, no, fuck it. I'm not even doing this. I'm not going to make you vote because that's stupid. What if you say yes? If you say, I'll tell you what, if you want to buy a mystery shirt and you don't give a fuck which one you get, then buy a mystery shirt. But I'm just warning you now, it's not going to be a fucking Mike Schmidt shirt. It might just be some fucking old school shirt I used to wear a million years ago that I don't anymore. Now, it will be clean and certainly pressed when I send it to you. By all means, I'm not, unless you want me to wear it. If you're telling me that you want me to wear a shirt that you're going to enjoy, you're going to want me to wear a shirt and so you can have the full Schmidt, then that's fine. If you want the full Mike sent to your place, I'll wear a shirt. Maybe I'll work out in it. Like I remember I was going to say, I'll send you the jeans. You can boil them and make little memes. That's perfect. If that's how you want me to do it with a shirt, I'll work out in it and I'll just take it off and send it to you. Good Lord. Look how terrible things have become. I used to think that this show was going places and now I'm selling my sweat. I'm selling sweat rags to you motherfuckers. Jesus Christ. But only if you want them. I mean, I'm not doing it. Only if you request it. If you're like, dude, I would totally love it if you worked out and you sold me some of your Under Armour fucking long compression shorts. Now, you probably don't want those. Anyway, my point is, mystery shirts have run out. We don't have any more mystery shirts. But if you actually want a mystery shirt, and you don't give a fuck that it's not a Mike Schmidt shirt, it's just some shirt from my house, then fucking do it. That would be hilarious to me. And Dave and I thought it would be hysterical. But then you can't come back to me afterwards and just go, dude, this is just some fucking Little Caesar shirt you wore in 1999. Well, that seems late in the game. Hold on. When did I work there? I worked there in 88. Yeah, because I was I moved here to LA in 80. Was in town? No, it was 92. Yeah, 91. 91 is when I worked for Little Caesars. Jesus Christ. No, it was 88. Because I moved in 86 to LA, and then I moved to Tahoe in 87. So it was between 86 and 87 is when I worked. You don't care. Fuck. Regardless, the bottom line is I worked at Little Caesars, and I was great at it. Rolling into town, fucking an hour and a half late and not making fresh sandwich buns and getting in trouble with my brother, or getting there the night before because I didn't want to deal with getting the bus in the morning. So I'd have a friend drop me off, and I'd actually sleep in the restaurant on sacks of flour. Oh, enjoy your pizza. Just me fucking crashed out sleeping on a fucking prep table. Oh, that's awful. God, I used to love it though. I used to love hiding in the fucking Little Caesars, and cops would come and they'd shine a light in because that was their deal. They just periodically went through the strip mall to make sure everything was okay. And I would just fucking hide and like peek out. God, I love being a spy. It's my favorite thing in the fucking world. I love being a spy. It's like when Jill was here, I would say, all right, we're spies now. And we would just listen to people outside and they didn't know what we were in here doing, whether we were naked and fucking going at it, or if we were just listening to them talk or whatever they were doing. I loved being a spy. I still love it. I'm a spy right now. But this is not the house of love, I can tell you that. This is the apartment of death. This is the apartment of sadness. I am not a spy in the house of love. I am right now a spy in the apartment of sadness. The ant farm of sadness, I guess you could say. So that plugs everything, and here's the show. So again, this was me and Lily and Jess Harnell and Mickey Caputo from Rock Sugar. And you're going to hear one of Rock Sugar's classic songs, and we're going to debut a new Rock Sugar song here. And hi to all you Rock Sugar fans who had to sit through an hour of me talking in circles. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that you're on board. Maybe this gives you a little taste of what Jess sees in me and why he wants to hang out and be on my show all the time. Maybe you think to yourself, Christ, I don't like Jess anymore because he deals with this fucking guy all the goddamn time. Who knows? Whatever end of the teeter-totter you're on, whether you're up in the air or you're down on the ground, you were forced to listen to me just to get to your heroes, and that's all that fucking matters. So live from the 2016 Los Angeles Podfest, it is Lily Von Stupp, Jess Harnell, Mickey Caputo, and me, Mike Schmidt, with a live version of the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast. This is a weird intro. Like, I'm trying to do this in an official way, but I don't want to do it in an official way. But I do. I just think I'm doing it wrong. I've run out of steam here. I'm not really run out of steam. It's just I don't know how to. Fuck. This is the people who are regulars, they're used to me doing this fucking bullshit. But all you new people are like, fuck, just get to goddamn Rock Sugar. All right, calm down. Jess Harnell, Mickey Caputo, Lily Von Stupp, and me, Mike Schmidt, live at the Los Angeles Podcast Festival. Wait! Forgot. One more thing. Dumb. The Amazon link. How could I forget that, folks? That's keeping us in business. That's keeping us afloat. It's keeping us in business. Apparently you don't. It's a business, kid. The Amazon link keeps us afloat. It does very well for us. And thank you so much for thinking of us. When you're on the Joe Business page, there's the Amazon link. Click on that. Clink. Colonel Clink on that. Hogan. Click on that. Get to our store, which I've not built yet, and I always threaten to do so, but I don't, and I haven't. So click on that, and then in the upper left-hand corner, it'll say Powered by Amazon. Click on that. And then you're in Amazon proper. Because when you're in our store, you're just Amazon adjacent, but then you get through to Amazon proper, and you're using our link, and you're buying stuff, and you're betting ball games, and it's Howard Cosell. If you can name that movie, nothing, nobody wants anything I have. A bachelor party, I'll just tell you. So, and then use the Amazon link, buy stuff, we get stuff, you get stuff, they get stuff. No, wait, they get money, I get money, you get stuff. It's money and stuff. We've talked about it a million times. So please do that. Okay? And also, please, again, don't kill me on the audio here, because I'm going to have to build it like a puzzle. They're sending me piecemeal stuff. They're sending me this and that, and I got to make sure the songs work. And I'm going to be hard at work, hunched over my laptop like the keyboardist in the Groovy Ghoulies, or like a guy who works on a laptop. Either one of those. I don't know which one I'll be. I may be like Dracula in the Groovy Ghoulies playing the big fucking pipe organ, or I could be just like a guy working on his laptop. I'm going to choose which one. It all depends on the availability of the cape. Folks, look at the fun we're having. You rock sugar people, use that fucking Amazon link, goddammit, because I'm bringing you a new song. Whether it's buried in the mix or not, you're going to fucking hear it and like part of it, at least, or some of it. I don't know what the fuck they sent me. It's been a chore. But still, rock sugar people who are new, on board, Jess Harnell people who are new, Mickey Caputo fans who have joined in and are new. Please, please, help us out. Buy some stuff through the website, MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Use the Amazon link. Let it take you to Amazon. Swim around in there for a while, but you get stuff. Swim around there for a little while. Fuck, dudes. You get stuff. I get money. They get money. Everybody's happy. And now, after I've wasted everybody's time by yammering some more because I forgot something, Lily Von Stupp, Jess Harnell, Mickey Caputo, that's 2/3 of Rock Sugar, and me, Mike Schmidt, with a live 40-year-old boy from the 2016 Podfest. From the 2016 Los Angeles Podfest. Oh, Jesus.
Now it's time for another podcast, live from the Los Angeles Podcast Festival.
Oh, the Bataan Death March continues of podcasts. It's time for another podcast. Oh, fuck. What is wrong with us? Yeah, there you go. The 40-year-old boy, the 40-year-old boy, the 40-year-old boy is here with guests. Hey, what's happening? Hi. Woo! This, I will not lie. Thank you for clapping. This is fucking awkward because I never, ever am on stage with real people. It's usually just me.
We're not real people. Look at us.
Walking in a circle and bitching about everything. But now, look at this. 4 times the bitching have joined me on stage, ladies and gentlemen. Very excited. How about a big hand for our producer, Lily Von Stupp, the producer of the show. Normally relegated to a glass booth in my house without a microphone. Today, we've given her amplification. I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. So I warn you now. She may get, that microphone may disappear at some point. Yes, certainly.
Let's just start it off with a bang, right?
She's off the leash. That's what happens.
Cock.
I wasn't kidding about that Casper mattress because, like, literally they endorse every fucking podcaster in the world, right? So some guy on Twitter wrote him and he goes, "Hey, Casper mattress, because I don't have a bed. I fucking sleep in a chair because I'm a fucking hobo." So they're like, so a guy on Twitter, some nobody, he's just like, "Hey, dude, Casper mattress, how come Mike Schmidt's the only working podcaster who didn't get a free mattress from you guys?" So now every week I keep writing them back and going, "Yeah, I'm not fucking joking. Send me a goddamn mattress." And then they had a booth out there, and I walk up and I go, "Are you guys with Casper or with the festival?" She goes, "With Casper." I go, "I want my mattress. Where's my mattress?" And this poor Indian girl is like, "I will speak to somebody in charge." I'm sure you will. Who's this man? Leave me alone, sir. I am so lucky today, folks, and it was a completely weird happenstance that this happened. I was going to come here and just talk, and then a couple of weeks ago, I happened to be getting my car washed because I have that kind of money. And I saw the fanciest gull wing fucking DeLorean Let's Go Back in Time vehicle. And I recognized the license plate, and I know who that is. Fuck, I know who that is. Who is that? I fucking know who that is. And then I saw a cowboy hat and a mop get out of a car. And I said, "Holy shit, I know that guy." I used to be his friend. So he went and he disappeared around the corner, and then I went to get my car washed, and I looked for him, and he was gone because they gave him the celebrity wash in a fucking covered building somewhere. I texted him, and I said, hey, they must have fucking really hooked you up. I didn't know where you were. And he came walking out, and I approached him, and and here's my favorite part. He saw me, and he hugged me right away, and I'm like, Mike Schmidt, because I know who the fuck you are. And
I used to be friends with you.
Exactly. So he pulls out his phone because he's texting me back, and literally, he doesn't have my name in the phone. It's just my number. And then I look at all of his contacts. They're all just phone numbers.
Yeah.
Are you a fucking Einstein? Like, what the hell?
No, dude, I give people code names, but with you didn't even need it because you're that famous.
Well,
you're
don't
that
kid
famous.
yourself. So I asked him, I said, literally off the cuff, he's like, dude, we loved your show. We'd love to do it again. And I said, well, let me, this is weird. What are you doing in 2 weeks? And he said, nothing. And I said, well, would you love to do it a live version of the show? He goes, fuck yes, absolutely, immediately. And I couldn't believe he said yes. I'm so lucky to have him. He is... You're just going to clap again when I say his name. He is the lead singer of Rock Sugar. He is a great friend of mine. He is a voiceover artist extraordinaire. Put your hands together for the great Jess Harnell, ladies and gentlemen.
I love you guys, seriously. I mean that. Some of you more than others, but I do. I do. And you know who you are.
Now, do we want to? You want to introduce our guy, or you want me to do it?
You do it, Dan.
I'll give him the setup.
It's your show, bro.
So Jess, so once I said Jess could come, he immediately starts pinwheeling ideas. I'll bring this guy. I'll talk to these 5 dudes, and then we get fucking saddled with this guy.
That's me. Like, who is that guy?
No, also a voiceover artist extraordinaire in his own right, and the bassist in the band Rock Sugar.
Right.
Put your hands together for the very funny and brilliant Mickey Caputo, ladies and gentlemen.
It's good to have you here, Mick.
What am I brilliant in, though? That's what we're going to
Now,
discover.
by the end of the show, we'll figure that
All
out.
right, cool.
What did I say? I did something wrong?
No, you're good, man.
All right.
It's your podcast, dude. It's
Wait.
awesome.
He's nervous. He's really more of a dancer
Well,
Yes.
than anything.
you know how I know he's
Don't
nervous?
test
He
me.
literally doesn't know how to use a microphone. Did you see that? He's like,
a bass
he's got it
player,
against his
dude.
chin like this. He's like, hi,
Like-
how is everybody? It's good to see you.
That's how I was trained, okay? Just like this.
I apologize.
It's an extension of my
no
body.
Mike Schmidt.
Who is, please. So, Jess and Mickey, thank you so much for being here. We
Yeah,
appreciate it.
man,
Again,
of course.
This
This
is
is a
going to be...
blast. And now it's like getting to hang out in your living room with all your friends here.
Of
dude.
course,
How
well,
great is this?
I don't know about all that, but
Yeah.
certainly it's... There's people here. That's good news.
Yeah, it's just a shame David Watson's not here too, dude.
I agree with that, right?
I wish David Watson was here. Fuck.
If only he had shown up. Well, perhaps. We still got time. We got plenty of time here. So Jess and Mickey are in the band Rock Sugar. They do voiceover stuff. They do amazing things. I'm glad they're... And I've only had, if you don't know, I'm in the history of this show, because the show is just me talking, yelling, more like.
Yeah.
And I've only had...
Dancing.
Bitching, certainly. I've only had one guest the entire history of the 9 years of the show, and it was Jess and Rock Sugar.
See, that's why we're here. It's consistency, folks. See,
Yeah.
we got to keep that going for the next 9 years.
So I got and I was turned on to them because a listener,
You were
Carl
turned on.
from Europe, Carl from Europe,
I'm turned on
perhaps
by him.
Germany.
Good.
Oh well, all right. You gonna slide off that bar stool? I
I'm
hope
going
not.
to slide on him at some point during the show.
I love that.
Look at the grip you got in that water
I was
bottle.
going to
Holy
say,
Jesus!
yeah. This is kind of phallic too. The whole thing you're doing here. But
Kind
go
of?
on, Mikey. Sorry.
All of the 80s right now are exploding in my panties. I'm not going to lie. This was wheelhouse horror for me, the 80s. Oh, big hair, cowboy boots, and a bass. Oh, fuck. Cock!
I picked Lily up today. She gets in the car and she goes, "Hey, I just want you to know, I wore a slip today for you."
I did.
I said, "What do you mean for me?" She goes, "Well, because I normally just wear bra and panties under this, but it shows my ass, and I didn't want them coming up to you in the hotel and telling you it was inappropriate." And I'm like, "What am I, your fucking keeper? They're not going to come talk to me.
Yeah, they will.
They're going to tell you to
Nobody
put some fucking
approaches
pants
me.
on." Well, no, they couldn't get near you because your eyelashes might poke them in the face. Anyway, good Lord, tarantulas. Seriously, those are tarantulas.
You're looking at her eyelashes. What's wrong with you, dude?
How can I miss them? I tried to look at her tits.
Maybe
and I
you
got
are
fucking-
gay. I don't know.
No, please. Well, we got an hour to find
Not
out.
that there's
He's
anything
not.
wrong with that.
I tried to look at her tits and I got Hurricane Sandy blowing in my face from her blinking. Hey, people died during that. It was funny. All right, so so I was turned on to Rock Sugar the band by a listener from Europe, Rula Lenska. Also Carl. Hi, we're old. How old are we? Jesus. But Carl told me about them, and people will refer me to bands all the time. They're like, "Dude, you would totally love this. Hey, do you like Rammstein? You'd love this band." Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Of course I love Rammstein. Du hast. Why not? Du hast nicht. All right, so I'm doing Rammstein humor, Mickey. Doesn't
I
happen
was just
very
thinking
often.
you were referred to the band. I was thinking like you went to the doctor. And anyway, well, go on.
So Carl referred me to Rock Sugar. I said I looked them up and I listened, and I'm not the first song on the album played, and I'm alone in my house at the time, which is not uncommon. And the opening chords start, and I'm listening, and then within 30 seconds, what they do, I don't even want to tell you what they do, but you know what we're gonna do? I will play you this very song I'm talking about that I listened to for the first time in my house. I heard it, and about 30 seconds in, I just went ha ha ha. Because I was so happy at the turn it took, and then the rest of the album was an adventure. So we're going to play. Should we play the full song? I would imagine, right? We'll see what happens. We'll see if it's appropriate.
You're so sweet. Thank you very
sure.
much.
So we're gonna play this song. This is the first song off the first Rock Sugar album, and it's called "Enter Sandman."
Don't Stop the Sandman.
That's right.
What it's called.
Don't Stop the Sandman. Go ahead, hit it.
It's badass. I love these guys. If I had nothing to do with it, I'd be my own groupie. I'm serious. Just like Mike Yoder would, dude. Mike Yoder, he's like that. And
Yeah, does not fuck around, Mike
Joel
Yoder.
Fowler, all these cats,
Yeah.
man. They're all.
Well, I'll tell you what. Jeff Whaley is the guy who really.
Yeah,
loves this
yeah.
band.
I'm big fans of all these dudes. By the way, our music's really soft.
This is
there
good.
it is.
Oh wait. Can we
There
start?
it
Can we
is.
go? Can we go back?
Started at the
Oh
beginning.
yeah, yeah. Start it from the
No,
top.
yeah,
dude.
that's in the
What
middle.
the hell was that? This guy's loaded, dude. Put down the needle, man. No, from the beginning,
it's
dude.
not- no. Literally, there's a beginning.
Okay, hold on. Remember when we were talking about there probably will be a technical difficulty?
That was it. Those were two.
Yeah. It happens. It's
And
okay.
we're 5 minutes
He's
in.
on
This
it.
doesn't
He
bode
knows
well.
what to do. The problem is it may not start over because of the program that they're using. And I'm not trying to make excuses. This is just the way it goes sometimes when you're...
There it is. Yeah, see, look. Exactly, see? Now, this is the idea. See, right here, you're all excited because you think it's Metallica Enter Sandman, and you're going to put your hands up in the air and throw devil horns and be a badass, but it changes rapidly. Watch. This thing started as a joke, and we got to open for AC/DC. It's so weird.
100,000 people.
100,000 people, yeah.
So I'm alone in my house, and I'm playing this, and I'm like, I like cover bands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, they're going to cover Enter Sandman. It sounds like a pretty good cover, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah. But then things took a turn for the worse.
Well, I'm in my house again, alone, naked.
The Kool-Aid Man. Right there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for the Kool-Aid Man. But see now,
That's more Gene Simmons.
yeah, that's more Gene Simmons. I'll tell you a Gene Simmons story. Listen. Whoops! What the hell happened?
That's not Metallica.
Everybody sing.
Anyway.
See, everybody can do it. It's fantastic. Go, Mikey. Mikey's looking at him. This is what he did in his house. Go. Beautiful. Sing. That's it, yeah. Now look, see? Now Mikey, look, playing air guitar in his kitchen in his underwear. How awesome is this? See? Look at him. You should, all you listeners, he's got flash pots around him right now. It's amazing. Kool-Aid Man's back. Ooh, yeah! See? And then we
Mickey,
go.
are you the bass on this?
No. Thanks for asking.
He hates this band. Go, Mike. That's nice. Go. Up and down the boulevard. Nice. I hear some angels singing right here. There's some girls singing good, dude.
Good.
Seriously.
I hope so.
Right there. Did I ever have sex with you? What was wrong with me? Not that I didn't.
I think you did. I saw her hat burn when she walked in.
Yeah.
Now that's
That's a good one, right?
that hurts.
Yeah, that's all right. No, I'm freaking awesome, dude.
Kool-Aid.
I don't even know how I do that. You know what I'm saying? No, seriously, whenever we do this, I'm like, how did I do that? It's freaking awesome. Right, Mason? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, dude. Listen to this. Ah, you guys are awesome. This is just like a show,
It is.
except nobody's getting blown yet.
Yeah, well, we can't see out there. Can you see? I can't see a thing. Who knows?
Everybody sing. It goes on and on and on. Nice.
Yeah, come on.
That's a good one too. Sing harmony there. Shadows, such at night. There we are.
Yeah.
But now watch it. Now watch this. This cool part right here. Watch what happens. That's badass, dude.
Just goes right into it.
I can't believe how good we are.
Yeah, it's amazing. I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. And now, come on. Yeah,
It's Chucky D on guitar.
that's Chuck Duran on guitar, who would be here, but he's not.
Yeah. Well, he got here and he saw Jess was here and he got, fuck it, I'm taking off. No, thank you.
All right, now you're going to sing that in a second. Hang on. Oh, we're going to do Don't Stop Believing.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there you go.
Damn it.
That's nice. Listen to this one, dude. I'm freaking awesome. I
That's
told
fucking
you.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's nice.
And this exit light.
Unbelievable. It's just,
Ooh, yeah. You know what I mean? And then check it out. Hell yeah, let's hear
Rock
it.
Sugar, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. That's right. You sexy bitches. You better believe it, dude. So that's what I heard when he was in his kitchen in his underwear. And then what happened, dude?
What if we just played the whole fucking album? Like literally, we just kept shouting over it like idiots and left.
Yeah, because the sound guy's already stoned, dude. So everybody else just has to catch up to him.
Yeah, no more. There won't be any technical because you just hit play and fucking walk
Yeah,
out.
exactly, man. I'll go talk to the girls in the second row. It'll be fantastic.
So,
it's
dude,
gonna
that
be
was
that night.
that was fucking straight up wheelhouse for me, man. It was like because I'm gonna get a Metallica journey. I'm all over it, but then you smash them together. I love smash them ups. I like Mark Vidler out of Europe. I mean, it was literally wheelhouse. There's one guy, but that was just wheelhouse. So I could not believe it, and I talked about it, and I talked to Lily, and I said, look, I got to get.
He
these
called
guys.
me immediately
Yeah.
and said, you have to listen to this, and
This is
sent me the
1:30
track.
in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Um,
you're right. It's absolutely fucking amazing.
And I had to order that
I
mail.
told you it is.
I had to order that album through the mail.
You what? You
Yeah, because there was no digital, there wasn't a download for it yet because your website
It's even
was
worse now,
incomplete.
dude. It's worse now. I'll tell you about it. But go on.
Well, because you spent all your money on jackets. Anyway,
Dude, this jacket changes color when you touch it. I
Yeah,
like
I
clothes
know.
you can play with.
I
dude.
didn't even know you could kill a gay dragon. Anyway, what the fuck, man?
Why do you think they call him Puff? Go on.
Oh, dude. So I gotta ask, man, like, because again, voiceover. Now you've been doing voiceover for over 25 years.
Yeah, man, isn't that crazy?
You got a microphone. You are a
Oh,
professional.
sorry.
What the
Yeah,
fuck,
dude.
dude?
I mean, here, take two. Yeah, man, isn't that crazy?
Here's a question about your career using microphones. Don't use
I
the
know,
microphone.
I know,
Anyway,
dude. I just got
Supposed to do
preoccupied
it like
looking at my
this.
own jewelry.
I don't blame you. Well, you're wearing a magic eye. How the fuck can you focus? I'm talking to you. I see a fucking sailboat. It's like, God damn it. So you've been doing this over 25 years as a voiceover guy. Like, how does that happen? How do you go? Are you just a guy as a kid who's just like, hey, I can talk like a robot, or what the fuck? And then they give you gigs, or because again, did you start as a regular? And I'll take that. That's a fucking bad word.
Go, dude.
Did you start as an on-camera actor?
No, man. I started, it's funny because I always thought that I was going to do rock and roll. That was like when I was a kid, that's all I wanted to do. And I grew up, I would be in my bedroom singing Robert Plant and Steve Perry all day long after school and doing all that shit. And it was great, but sometimes the road takes you in a street you didn't think you were going to turn down, And what happened was I used to sing a ton of jingles. And there's not as many jingles now as there used to be, but I used to sing like Budweiser and Coke and Reebok and all that stuff. And I sang hundreds of jingles. And this one dude that I knew from singing jingles called me up one day and he said, hey man, I know you're always doing all those stupid voices, because when I would be doing jingles, I'd be messing around just doing impressions and things on the mic, right? And I go, yeah. And he goes, listen, I'm doing the music for this ride at Disneyland called Splash Mountain, and they're casting the voices for it. Do you think you can imitate those voices? And I said, yeah, totally. And he goes, okay. He goes, I'll get you an audition, right? So he's just my buddy. So
Real quick.
What?
Have you ever said no to anything in your life?
Yeah, but she was in Kentucky, and I found out she was my sister.
Before or after?
I'm just kidding, dude. No. Yes, I've said no to things before, of course, Mike, but not this, because I knew there was a check involved. So what happened? So what happened was I went and I watched that movie Song of the South, which, by the way, they can't even release it because it's totally racist.
Yeah.
You guys, it's like you're watching this thing and you feel like you hope nobody's watching you watching it. You know what I mean? I mean, no offense, Walt. I'm sure it was groovy at the time, but these days it's woo. So I'm watching it. So I went and I auditioned and I got like 6 voices on that ride. If you go on Splash Mountain, it's all me. The whole ride. Yeah, I'm Brer Rabbit and I'm Brer Bear and I'm Brer Turtle and Brer Alligator and I'm both vultures and I'm the accountant and whatever else the hell is going on in there.
Are you the black guy they hang?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Wasn't sure.
Because no, it's a long story. But yeah, so I did that. And I thought, well, this is great. And the only reason, I'll tell you the truth, man, because the money wasn't that great for that particular gig, but I thought it would be cool because I thought, well, now I can take chicks to Disneyland and say, hey, this is me on this ride.
And this is 87.
This is 85, I think, dude.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God, was it? No, this was like 90. This was like 90.
Okay.
Yeah, 90. Because I've been doing the jingle thing, singing it since
I see.
85. And then I got into it. So then a whole year went
Can
by.
you, real quick before that, I know you're
All right.
doing stories.
Yeah.
Do you remember any jingles? Can you give us one?
Oh, yeah, dude.
And I
You
know
remember-
your voice is,
It's
he
just a
got
little
kicked in the
tired.
throat by a mule, so he
I
can't
just-
sing.
Dude, no, you got to understand, seriously speaking, you guys, I have the only job in existence where every single day, I'm not exaggerating, every single day I see the words blood-curdling scream at least 3 times. Every day. Because when you're doing cartoons, think about it. What happens in cartoons? You're constantly getting the crap kicked out of you, and you're jumping off buildings, and you're getting dragged behind trucks and thrown into the freaking ocean, and, so it's always screaming. So by the end of the week, sometimes I'm like, oh, my God, my voice is so gone. I can't do anything anymore. My voice is really... So no, like a jingle though. I mean, I sang so many of them, but I sang. Do you guys remember Budweiser, the one? I'm a genuine Bud man, Bud, like that. That was See, that was me, dude. I sang so many of those things, and like Coke is it, and Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat, all those things, dude. Yeah, and they paid me so much money, I couldn't believe it. It was fantastic. And then I found out voiceover pays even better, so I said, screw that, I want to do voiceover. And so I did the Splash Mountain thing, and I went back to singing jingles because I didn't have an agent or anything like that. And they called me a year later and they go, hey, we got to do the voices for Splash Mountain in Disney World now. So we got to bring you back in to do that. And I said, okay, cool. So I go back in and I'm thinking, wow, now I can take chicks to Disney World too. This will be fantastic. Right. And when I went back, the guy, I hit it off with this dude named Rick Dempsey, who's the head of Disney character voice.
I'm going to jump in again.
Okay,
You're
go.
taking chicks to Disneyland. Do you take them on Splash
course.
Mountain and go,
Of-
hey, that's me. I'm
Duh.
the bear. And then you finger blast them like on the way down the thing. You're like,
Wouldn't
did
you?
it ever work? Well, did it ever work is my
Yes.
point. Like you got some girl in there and you're like close. And the
Yes.
closer of the deal is like, hey, that's my voice. I'm the turtle. And then whomp,
No,
head down.
you lean forward and you say in her ear real sexy. You go zippity-doo-dah.
Ah, there you go.
And that's it, man. Next thing you know, it's a zippity-doo-dah day.
Perfect.
That's what I'm saying.
Nice.
That's what I'm saying. So
There's
anyway.
splashing going on, but it's not the water
That's
outside.
not the water I'm
Certainly.
talking about. So we did this. So I went back and I did the second one. And the guy, Rick Dempsey from Disney Character Voices, he says, hey, man, can you do Roger Rabbit? And I said, yeah. And I never even tried to do it. But he said, I just figured, why not? And he said, well, we might have to replace Roger Rabbit. Why don't you go home and work on it? So I went home and I listened to it.
Did he call him Roger Rabbit? Or did he
Yes.
call him did he say we have to replace Charles Fleischer?
I don't want to say that name because it could lead to legal trouble. So
Well,
anyhow.
I like the idea of the guy with his shorthand. We might have to fire Roger Rabbit.
Oh,
so
dude, that is how they talk. I'll tell you the best voiceover story ever when I'm done this one. You guys are gonna get a kick out because it's freaking amazing.
cue him up.
So what happened was, so he says, can you do Roger Rabbit? So I went in the next day and I watched the movie, and dude, it was awesome. I was like, Jeepers, I could do Roger Rabbit all day long, right? So I went in. Yeah, it's badass. I told you. See, that's the thing. See, you guys, you think when I say something is badass, you're like, this guy's a dick, and he's just saying it. No, it is. Right. It's serious. Because if it sucked, I'd be like, it sucks. But it was badass. So I got Roger Rabbit, and then he helped me get an agent. And I got all this other stuff. But here's a great voiceover anecdote, and then we're going to go right back to you because you guys got to hear this. If I ever write an autobiography,
Please don't go right back to me.
this-
I could not be less interested.
Dude,
I hear me all the fucking time.
This will be the title of my autobiography. Listen to this story, okay? Years ago, shortly after I did the Splash Mountain thing, and then I got Animaniacs. You guys probably remember Animaniacs, right? Yeah, well, hello, no, so no, that sort of stuff. It's great, right? So that was like the first big cartoon that I did. But I got this movie. I got to be in this movie called Quest for Camelot. Okay, now this was an animated feature that Warner Brothers was doing, and I filled in a whole lot of dialogue, and I worked with like Pierce Brosnan and Bronson Pinchot and all these people, and I always knew when they were gonna have a celebrity come in because they'd have better craft services. Like when I walked in and there's shrimp, I'm like, there's gonna be a movie star, because that's not for me. I get a granola bar and a bottle.
I was on Basketball, the movie Basketball, and I was on it for like 6 weeks, and they served us surf and turf, and there's fucking extras eating oranges and bagels and hating us, and I'm just like, I got my feet up, just eating like a turkey, like and laughing at them. Fuck yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's
Get
movie
the
star
fuck
food.
out of here.
So I got the part. The guy who was running the show is this very distinguished sort of British fellow, and he told me, he goes, Jess, we'd like you to play the role of Bladebeak. He's sort of a chicken who develops evil powers, but he's still comic relief, and he's very playful and lovable, and we'd love for you to do this, and it's going to be great. And I said, cool, man. So I go on and I'm doing the dialogue for
cool,
the chicken.
man.
Yeah, this will be great.
Cool, man. A chicken with fucking evil powers. I'm in. That's cool, man.
This is
I don't
my
say
job.
no to anything.
That's gonna get you pussy.
No, and you know what? It did too. So anyway, so I said, listen, this is my interpretation, and I went in and I did it, and it was great, and it was killing, and all the crew guys were laughing, and everybody's happy, and they're like, oh, it's just what we needed. It's so funny. It's perfect. And I said, okay, cool. Then I noticed one day though, I noticed on the cast list of people in the movie that it was like celebrity me. Right? And I'm thinking, one of these things is not like the other. One of these things is not. And I'm like, that could be.
Well, you think you feel that? Pierce Brosnan's like, who the fuck is Ray Cerrone on this list?
So I'm
Why
like,
this guy?
I'm like, why is my name on that thing, with all these celebrities? So sure enough, a couple weeks later, I get a phone call at home from this guy who showed me nameless, the British guy, and he goes, hello, Jess, it's me. And I said, hey, man, what's going on? He goes, listen, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. He goes, but there's something I've got to tell you, and I wanted to be the one to let you know, because it has nothing to do with you, and we love your performance, and everything that you've done is so good. He goes, however, we're going to have to replace you as Bladebeak, the psychotic evil chicken. and I go, oh, man, I understand show business very well. I don't take it seriously at all. I don't take any of this stuff seriously. It's all like, every day of my life, I just been kind of going, wow, how did I get to do this? Because, it's freaking ridiculous. So I go, oh yeah, man, I kind of had a feeling that was going to happen. He goes, yeah, because we've got to do a lot of promotion. We want to have everybody in the movie have a certain degree of recognizability to the public, and we need people who can do Entertainment Tonight and all these things. So we've had to replace you with a very big celebrity, but we are going to have you do other things and incidental roles, and you'll still be in the movie. And I said, okay, that's great. I appreciate it, man. And he goes, okay, so we'll see you in a few days. We'll have you in. I said, okay, great. And as we're hanging up, I go, oh, by the way, who did you get to replace me? And I kid you not, Mikey, the words he used, these are the title of my autobiography. He goes, oh, we got Urkel. Now, dude, that's show business.
Yeah.
We got Urkel, the story of my life in show business. Because it's like, not we got Jaleel White or the guy who played Urkel.
No.
We got Urkel.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and I hung up, and I even knew, I said, that's it. That explains this whole thing.
God, yeah.
We got Urkel.
That's perfect.
And it's cool because, since then, I've been inordinately blessed. I do this stuff every day. I'm on all these shows and all these movies, and it doesn't stop. And every year I think it's going to stop. I'm like, well,
but honestly, because you know how good you are. I mean, and it's obvious
awesome,
you're carrying.
yeah.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with owning it and being fucking good.
Yeah, kick ass.
So you know that, but do you really fear it's going away? You've got a backlog of over 300 credited performances.
400.
You're well then.
Sorry, Mikey. Go on, dude.
Sorry, I wasn't counting Newman's Own salad dressing. I apologize. I didn't know that was a fucking credit all of a sudden. Oh, I'm sorry. You
Well, it
sang
is.
about Doublemint gum once. Anyway, good for you. So,
Go on, dude. Go on.
So
You're doing
you've got-
great.
That was Paul Pepper on the Doublemint gum. That was Paul Pepper
Sorry.
with that one.
You're doing good.
So I'm saying, as someone like you who is established, who has landed, who has got all of these performances, and you're killing it. I'm going to ask, well, because you've done major voices, not just wacko, but we've talked about this before. Do you really think it's going away? Do you ever sit down and just go, fuck? Because I've been to your fucking palace of a house,
Yeah,
and all that shit.
That
and-
was great. I
All right,
love you came over.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad. Say that again.
Can
Say
you
it-
believe
no,
I
say,
live
Hold
there?
on. Say exactly what you just said. Say the sentence.
I say, well, I'm glad you came over.
Once.
Yeah,
All right.
that was
So
it. That's it. Well, like you said, we used to be friends,
the
dude.
rest of my invites
There's an
got lost.
expiration date on everything, man.
Well, because when I was there, my fucking ex-wife knocked over a bottle of red wine on your white carpet.
that
and
might have
I-
been it. That's it. You were outlawed. Yeah.
Yeah, no kid, dude. That was.
Well,
fucking,
she was very testy with me too. Don't worry about
Well,
it.
she and I stared at one another, dude. That was the fucking craziest thing because we're in the moon room or what the fuck you have. Because again, we went to his house and he lives in the hills and he at the top of a corkscrew mountain and there's that Animaniacs fucking tower in the backyard. And
It's huge.
we had to park and take a Sherpa to the fucking front door. So I go into this fucking
Good
Christmas
party.
party, and yeah, it was a fucking great party. And it's all like metal people and then voiceover people, and then just me and my dopey wife walking around trying not to fuck things up. We fuck things up. We sat down in a completely white room, just like, and literally, Karen puts down her wine, and it falls over on the white carpet, and there's this giant red stain. And
I
I'm
didn't
looking at
even
her.
care, dude, because I love you, man.
Yeah,
so who
you
cares?
didn't.
Yeah, no, she did. Yeah.
No, the help came in single file and blasted me with hoses. They were
Yeah,
like,
yeah, dude.
Out!
Well, that's what they're paid for. You
You know why? Because they looked at the guest list for that party and they went, da-da-da-da-da-da. Who the fuck is this guy on the bottom? How does that? Who invited Fat Rice-A-Roni?
They didn't replace you with Urkel, though, did
No,
they?
I don't think they did. They met. You know what? I saw him coming in. Bullshit. He was on his way in.
No, he was parking the cars, dude. Urkel was parking the car. I'm sorry, man. That's
So do you worry? Is my point. Like, I mean, you've established yourself. Are you worried about the pipes ever going? Are you worried about not being able to do this for going forward? Because voiceover artists, I would imagine, they can work forever. Whereas, if you lose your looks or you lose your whatever the fuck, but a voiceover artist, as long as he's got it, he's got it.
But they can, man. But not everybody does. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so I mean, it's an intelligent question. Do I think it's going to go away? I don't. Yeah, which is surprising. No, it's surprising. Come on, yeah. See, all you people that I met on the way in
Take
who
that,
said he's kind of
Caputo.
stupid,
All
he's
right,
proving
fine.
you're wrong
You got
right
me.
now.
You got me.
Right now. No, but man, you don't. I don't really think it's going away. But I do. I'm very, very aware of the fact that the guy who's serving me a coffee at Starbucks is probably very, very talented, and he's serving coffee at Starbucks. So all I'm saying is, it's no guarantee that what you're doing now, him or me, is going to be what we're doing in 5 years. So every time I have another good year, I'm like, wow, I can't believe I did that again. And what I said to you earlier about the singing thing, it's true too. It's like, because I sing really demanding stuff, and then I do really demanding stuff on cartoons, and it's like, you wonder to yourself, how am I doing this?
Sure.
It's like, but fortunately the instrument's still strong and it's all good. And through the grace of God, things keep happening in a positive way, and I keep working all the time.
Do you still have to audition?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, yeah, sure you do. I mean, I don't do it as responsibly as I used to, because I don't, need to work as diligently as I used to need to work, because I got that freaking house now with
Yeah,
the
you
big
do.
stain
Oh my God.
in the carpet.
Yeah.
It's like a souvenir, dude. In fact, I drew a little caricature of you on
Oh,
there.
thanks, man.
No, it was good. No, I'm sure you still got to audition and you still got to go in there and stuff like that. In fact, I can't talk about that. That's a scoop. I was going to give you a scoop on something, but I can't because it's going out. If it was just us talking, I'd tell you.
What if I guess it?
Yeah, you go ahead, dude, because
Okay.
you never freaking will, bro.
All right. Is it a show about a talking jacket?
No, but if it was, it'd be called the Gay Dragon Hour, dude. The color changing gay dragon. It's the rainbow of fire. See? That's what it'd be called.
Nice.
No, but I don't really. That's the thing too, man. It's like I don't really worry about it because I don't really worry about things in general. It's like, there's this thing. Me and my buddies-
Which is fucking amazing to me.
Yeah.
Because I worry about nonsense. I mean,
Nah,
I
dude.
literally walk in a fucking circle and I don't know what's going to happen next, and I'm worried, and I've never done what I wanted to do, I don't think, and I've never given the effort I thought I could. But then I see a guy like you, and you're a dumb fuck, and like everything's great.
Yeah, it's amazing, dude. No, it's like, because you know what it is? Me and my buddies have a word for it. It's called mojo, and mojo is literally not caring about the outcome.
Yeah.
Whether it's in relationships or money or whatever, I just sort of go, it's all going to be cool, man. And it's cool.
Were you like that before you had money and all of
Yeah, dude, I was totally like that before I had money, man. What used to happen when I've been on my own since I was 16 years old, and my mom used to get these child support checks, and she told me that I could stay in California as opposed to moving to Florida with her if I could find a place to live that she would approve of, that I could afford on $750 a month. Now, that was challenging even back in the early 80s, but she didn't know that my drummer at the time, his mom owned nothing but residential real estate. So I ended up with my own house in Beverly Hills rent-free when I was 16 and a half years old, right?
Nice.
So when she'd send me my child support checks for $375, I'd get them on a Tuesday, and by Thursday they'd be gone because I'd take everybody out. We'd all go to movies, and then I'd be completely broke again. But I'd be like, screw it, another one's coming in a couple weeks, man. It's gonna be fine.
I love the idea of a lawyer in Beverly Hills. He's in his backyard trying to relax, and you're in your backyard doing space alien robot voices. What the fuck?
And sing exactly, and doing that. That was pretty good, by the way.
Thank you.
That was
I
a nice
appreciate
one.
that.
See?
Well, good. Well, that's fantastic. And so the audition thing was a big thing to me because I know you're getting so many gigs. Now, I'm going to ask, I don't know if this might be the scoop fucking thing. There was
If you know about it, then it's not the
well, I
scoop.
don't even know if it's a scoop. I have no idea because
There's two scoops.
you're the voice of Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot, and he's coming back, dude. They're making new Crash Bandicoot stuff. Isn't that
Yeah.
awesome? Yeah.
But I heard there's a movie,
Yeah, they're working on all kinds of
and I heard you're doing the voice in the movie.
I'm doing all the Crash.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I'm
good.
doing all the Crash stuff. Here it is. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not a scoop, I
Isn't
guess.
that awesome? And you know what's great too is I do these Comic-Cons, and it's really funny because I show up at these Comic-Cons and I sign stuff for these people, and they're so sweet. But they come up and they go,
How much pussy are you getting at Comic-Con?
I can't even talk about it, dude. You never know. you never. It's
Because Amanda Howlett wrote me and she asked, how much pussy does Jess get at Comic-Con?
Yeah, and you know what's funny is Paul Pepper wrote to me too, and I said, "How's your dad, the sergeant?" You know what I mean? It was weird because he contacted me too.
He's a friend of mine. Met him 20 years ago.
Is
today.
he really?
Yeah, 20
See,
years
that's
ago
good.
today.
That's good. That's good. No, man. No, the Comic-Cons, though, they're a trip because two things happened. Like the two memories. First of all, one thing that's freaking me out these days, I got to be honest with you guys, this has tripped me out. I've signed a lot of body parts for girls, and that's all groovy. But what's weird now is they're getting them tattooed. And they're getting them tattooed on their boob and on their butt and stuff like that, my signature.
Yeah.
Which is really weird because I feel like their husbands are going to want to kill me someday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Seriously, I don't want to
Or
be getting,
come all over you.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. I don't want to be getting in the sack with some chick with a stamp on her from another
No,
dude. That's
absolutely not.
weird.
Well, we have listeners who've gotten the logo tattooed on
Yeah,
them.
that's I should get a
There's
logo.
been
I should
more-
get like a rhinestone thing that I put on there, like
I've got
a
Joel
brand.
Fowler's tattoo on my
You
back.
do? You got it on there? That's nice. That's good. He's got Joel Fowler on there. That's good. By the
Caputo.
way, my favorite name on this list of names that we're referring to
Is
because
it the one none of us want to tackle?
I'm going to do this one right now. No, I'm not doing that one. I'm doing this one.
Right.
I would like to recognize John Freeman, father of Quinn, brother of Mike. I swear that's what it says. It sounds like he works for the Catholic Church, man. It's just beautiful.
John Freeman has come to see me like multiple times on the road, and
What about Quinn and Mike?
Well, I'm getting there. So John Freeman would come in and he brought his son Quinn, I think, to the Chicago show or one of the shows. And whenever he writes me an email, he's like, John Freeman, father of Quinn. He always writes it.
That's funny.
So then he brings his brother Mike to the show. And Mike sees me in Chicago. And my live show used to be, when I did it, it's about 3 hours long. It's ridiculous.
wow, man.
Yeah, it was indulgent and foolish. All right, so, but it was fucking great.
I'll bet it was
There was no doubt. So
Did you spill a lot of stuff on the white carpet?
I literally, you could put all the theaters I worked in on top of one another. Not as fancy as your fucking house. So one night he walks up and he's like, "Hey, this is my brother Mike," and Mike comes over and he goes, "Hey, I want to, that last story you did because I used to do a story about I was in a death ride with my brother and his ex-wife, my wife. Yeah,
What's a death ride?
A big fight happened and I tried to kill everybody.
Nice.
So, it's a long story.
Another Saturday night.
I should send you a CD. You'll have my story.
It's really not as funny when you break it down quickly.
True.
No.
You got to really.
Sounds
you
like
gotta-
a good time for
you gotta
everybody,
live
man.
in
Tell
that
that story, yeah.
So this guy comes up to me and he's like, "What kind of car were you driving in that story?" And I said, I was in my Altima. And he goes, "Well, I'm calling bullshit on your story, man. That wouldn't have jumped a curb. There's no way you could have gotten that kind of speed to jump a curb."
Really?
Yeah. This cunt fucking comes up. He's going to tell me about my story. And I think, and the only thing was I couldn't argue with him really to a certain extent because I'm alive. Like, I mean, if I.
Oh, wait, this
if I
isn't
would've
John
driven into-
Freeman, father of Quinn, brother of Mike. That
No,
did it.
this is
Okay,
Mike, brother of John, father of
good.
Quinn.
Mike, stop being a dick,
Yeah, you
dude.
jagoff. All right, so.
Well, thanks for coming.
Mickey, now I want to talk to you. All right, let's talk to Mickey for just a second here. Mickey Caputo, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
just here for the comic relief.
He's great.
He just said, "Bring your cool jacket and shut up."
Well, let me ask you this. Now, did you get the memo that you were supposed to look like Brent Muscat when you came in? Is that possible?
Dude, first I have to say something real quick. Just going back, it's a serious thing though. You were talking about being worried, and this is because I just met you, but I do care about you.
Thank you.
No, he doesn't.
But you were talking about worrying, and this is a thing we struggle with. But you also mentioned walking in a circle, and I figured, well, if you're walking in a circle all the time, what are you worried about? Because what can happen?
Yeah, you already know where you've been, and you can see where you're
Yeah.
going, dude.
I mean, it's just logic.
Maybe I don't
Go
like
on.
where I've been, Mickey. Oh, I
He's
see.
very
Well, thank you. Well, I'm
existential.
glad you care about me so much early on.
I really do, and I'm listening.
I needed more for Brent Muscat. I'm not going to lie to you. Good Lord. So we know you're a voiceover person. I listened to your demo and your stuff on your line. Yeah, all your stuff, your commercial stuff and the little flash thing. But he sounds like every commercial you hear on the radio where they have a regular guy telling you about jeans. That's fucking Mickey.
Yeah.
Like
And he doesn't even know about jeans.
I don't even wear jeans.
But
Oh,
I
how'd
was,
those
and it made me. I was incredibly jealous of you right away because again, I heard it, and you just sound astonishing on all of your demos, and it's really cool stuff.
Thank you, man.
And you're also endorsed by was it a MIDI guitar? Is that what I
Yeah, the
heard?
U-Rock guitar.
Dude, what the fuck,
If
man?
you're a guitar player, this is great. I can plug this. If you're a guitar player and you compose, this is the best thing you can buy because it's a MIDI trigger. So basically, it acts as a guitar.
Tell people what that is.
What that is basically you play like you're playing a guitar, but you can trigger other sounds like synthesizers and strings and
But it
drums and
looks
whatever
like
you
a
want.
guitar.
But it looks like a
Yeah.
guitar. Go to urockguitar.com. urockguitar.com.
And Mickey Caputo sent you. But I mean, yeah, when I
Thank
saw
you
it,
very much.
I
Yeah.
saw the demo thing on YouTube and stuff. It looked really cool. I was at the
Oh,
great.
thank you, man.
So
I mean,
you-
nothing compares to this guy. It's like, you
Don't
know.
deflect,
what
because
if you-
I want to talk about something important. In 2002, you were a waiter in Judging Amy.
Oh my gosh, that's true. That's true. Are you ready?
Please.
That was my line.
That it?
That was my
I was
line.
just going to ask you to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
And then
Did
my
that.
second line was okay, and I walked away.
Very good. Very
Yeah.
good.
Come
That
on.
was my
That's
first
good
act.
stuff.
That was my
Yeah,
first
that's good.
on-camera acting job.
He is good.
Now that was good, but then also you were audience member number 1 on the Gilmore Girls.
You suck. That's what I said there.
You did that?
And play to Sebastian Bach.
No way.
He does
Yeah.
suck. No, I'm
You're
just
acting
kidding.
like,
That's
you're
not true.
acting
He's
like you
fine.
don't know.
Well, all right.
Come
so
on.
That's a good
I mean,
point.
we know you've seen this.
Yeah, sir. Well,
You know,
true.
I'm famous for that.
Well, that's what I knew you from. And then when I was like, holy fuck, Mickey Caputo's coming?
All right.
The
That's
You
what
Suck
happened.
guy?
Yeah.
Well, awesome. So how did you get into, because I mean, you did a lot of on-camera stuff, and then you become a sound engineer.
I was that beforehand, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
I've done a lot of different boring and cool things.
well, please tell us about the boring ones. It's a
boring ones
live show.
especially.
The boring ones, especially. No,
don't
I
you
don't want
tell
to
me
talk
that?
about that.
How'd you hook up with Jess?
Jess and I met many years ago, back when I was a recording engineer at Salami Studios.
A cartoon place in North Hollywood. That's really
Yeah,
nice,
yeah, that's how we met. And Jess and I would just run into each other, all like in
Boom.
various places.
Hair salon?
Boom. At Dimple's Karaoke. Yeah, at the hair salon.
Probably
right?
hair salon. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. I would sweep up his hair.
You always see Jim
yeah.
Donovan there too. Jim
Like,
Donovan
is this
behind him.
Jess
No,
Harnell's
I'm calling
hair?
him bullshit. He hasn't cut that fucking hair in forever.
That's
There's
true.
no way.
That's true.
That's true.
I don't care how long you've known him. You weren't sweeping that fucking hair up. And then you guys, how did you get to running with the band and stuff like
So
that?
yeah, so we reconnected many years later, and he's like, "Dude, you play bass? I don't remember I sent you."
Well, what
something,
happened
but-
was I always thought you were a singer because you know the vocals in the band are really important. Everybody sings harmony and stuff, and I knew he was a good singer. But one day he sends me this picture and he goes, "Hey man, check out my new baby," and he sends me a picture of a bass.
Whoa.
And I got to tell you guys, if anybody listening ever wants to be a musician, be a bass player because everybody else is a guitar player or a drummer. And if you're a bass player, you always work. And if you're a bass player who can sing, you'll work more. And if you're a bass player who can sing and you look cool, you're going to work all the time. Plus, most bass players are dicks. So if you're not a dick, then you got it even one better. So when he sent me the picture, I said, dude, you play the bass? And he said, yeah. And I said, we got to talk, man, because, you know, we've had our share of run-ins with bass players over the years. And ever since we met the guy.
That makes it sound like a gang of bass players met you in an alley somewhere.
Yeah, they did.
You've had your share of run-ins with bass
And I
players.
totally kicked him in the nuts, you guys. No, it's like, no, man, it's like, here, seriously. When he came along, I say, because I mean it, I wish that he was the only bass player that I ever played with because he's such a good guy and he's such a good musician. It's true.
So he got the concept of Rock Sugar right away.
Oh, right away.
All right,
Love
so
it.
he locked in. Is he? Because those are. All right, let's shift a little. Talk a little Rock Sugar.
Yeah.
And we heard "Don't Stop the Sandman."
Oh, yeah, we
earlier,
got a
which we heard.
surprise for you guys,
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
yeah.
we do have a surprise.
Yeah, it's good, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Mickey's leaving. Anyway, so
Surprise!
you suck.
You suck.
Yeah, his new girlfriend's name is Yoko, and she wants him to go out on his own, you know.
Now, "Don't Stop the Sandman" has led to a very interesting adventure for you that I was told I probably shouldn't talk about, but I'm going to because why not? You're getting sued.
Well, we got sued, but we're not sued anymore. We were
Right.
sued.
And I was told I can't say who sued you
Yeah, you shouldn't
All
because
right.
then you could be
because I could be in trouble
Yeah,
at some
you don't
point.
want that. But basically, what
but
happened?
let me ask you, when the law, or please
Yeah.
tell the story.
Well, you guys know that I do impressions. I mean, I do impressions all day long. I do, like my favorite one these days. I like doing walking because it's just now because no matter what you say, it's fun, and you just start saying anything, and it's good. You know, so I love doing that. Yeah. So wait, for instance, it's a shame that Erica Elliott isn't here because Erica, I got a fever. And the only cure is Susan Fernandez. Anyway, so dude, we're just checking them
It's
off. man.
gorgeous.
We're
I
just
fucking love it. I
we're
don't
just
care.
getting through it, man. So no. What happened was, so we put out. First of all, the whole Rock Sugar thing started, you guys, because my best buddy Chuck Duran and I, we got a gig.
Now,
playing-
Chuck has a very successful podcast himself.
Yeah. It's for voiceover called VO Buzz Weekly. It's excellent. If you're interested in voiceover, you can. It's like an hour-long free lessons with Billy West and Jim Cummings and other big people in the industry, and it's really cool.
And Chuck, let me real quick. Chuck is a guy who when I heard Rock Sugar, Jess is obviously a very powerful presence.
Well,
So when we were exchanging emails, I'm like, well, I'd like you to do the show. He goes, can I bring Chucky with me? And I said, yeah, I don't give a fuck about Chucky, but sure, why not? As long as you're coming, I don't care who you bring. Chuck comes in. He's just as accomplished as Jess. He's a voiceover guy. He's the brains of the outfit with you guys in Rock Sugar, and you're a true equal in the band, and then funny as fuck. I mean, like we winged on the show. I should re-release that show, right? Because it was really really good. And
guys,
and
that's
they
awesome.
Because I mean, dude, when you ask two dudes who are they live in palaces and they have all the success in the world, to come to a stripper's house and talk in a kitchen, like
I always go to strippers' houses and talk to their kitchen, man. That's all we
not
do.
talk to me. Go talk to the fucking stripper. But they came out. They were gracious. They were funny, and they were nice. And you never know what you're going to get when you bring guests onto your show, because if you talk to other comedians, you hope that you get a rapport with them, and you don't want to stick to just your friends. So I did not know these guys at all, other than their music, and that I admired them. So they came in, and it turned out they were unbelievably funny. We were able to ping pong back and forth, and I mean, he could fucking talk by himself. So it was so gracious that you came. So that's who Chuck is. Chuck is a huge name in the voiceover industry, and also has this podcast and stuff. So go find it. What's it called?
Yeah, VOBuzzweekly.com. If you have any interest at all in voiceover, it's one of the best things you'll ever look at. But,
so you and Chuck are friends voiceover wise, and then how does the idea?
Well, we've been friends for years.
Sure.
He's played guitar in every band I was ever in, and we got this gig. We got this weird phone call that said, "Hey, you guys want to come to Turks and Caicos, and all you got to do is play 4 acoustic songs a day, and you can come for free. We'll put you up, and you can take like skydiving and paragliding and all this." And I'm like, "Hell yeah, dude!" So we went, and we're sitting there on this island, and we're playing Journey songs acoustic or whatever. And I said to him one night, I go, "You know, it'd be funny, man. I said, it'd be funny if there was some 80s hair metal band like Poison that got shipwrecked on an island at the end of the 80s and had nothing to listen to for 20 years but pop records from the 80s, and then got rescued. Like, what would that be like? Like, if they thought Madonna was metal and Paula Abdul was metal and Journey was metal, what would that be?" So we started working on it.
And then you gave Chuck the bong, and what did he say?
Yeah, he loved it.
It's a great idea, dude.
he loved it, man. So then the thing just took off wildly. Like it was incredible. Our second gig was in front of 22,000 people. I mean, we've opened up for AC/DC and Aerosmith.
Well, how do you make that leap? How do you put the idea together, put the concept together, and then you're playing for 22,000 people? Your second, what kind of connections? How do you wind up doing that show?
Well, it's weird because what happened was we made this video. We got to make it for free. It's like all the planets aligned. This film department at a school made a video for Don't Stop the Sandman, and it went viral. Like, people just started discovering it. And then DJs started discovering it, because the truth is, what you said about the music being in your wheelhouse, the coolest thing about Rock Sugar, if you ever come to a show, and again, I would say this if I had nothing to do with it, I swear I would tell you the truth. It's like, it's the most fun you'll have at a rock show, because we take everybody else's encore, and that's our whole show. From the beginning, and it's 2 or 3 encores at the same time.
In the same song, smash. It's like this car crash of everything you love. It's brilliant.
We do everybody else's last song first, second, third, and fourth. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's really, really powerful. It's really fun. And the cool thing is, even while you're laughing at the fact that you can sing a Madonna song over an AC/DC song, which you can do, by the middle of it, you kind of go, this is actually really cool.
Yeah.
This is really good, And like, what I also love is you guys that are listening, you can't see me do this, but see, this is sign language for I love you, right? And this is the devil horns that everybody in metal throws up, right? So we've played some huge shows, and like, we played the Download Festival in England with AC/DC, and there were 100,000 people there. And I come out, and I'm always doing this, which is I love you. And it's great because you see all these freaking, motorcycle-looking dudes with mutton chops and bad teeth. And by the second song in, they're telling me they loved me and singing Paula Abdul songs. You know what I mean? It's just, and then they're going to listen to, Anthrax when we're finished. It's the weirdest damn thing. But anyway, the thing went viral. People started discovering it. And in fact, one of the reasons that I love you as I do, man, and this is not jive, I'm not just saying it, was because when the thing started to grow, like on Facebook, we have a really active Facebook page, which is Rock Sugar Band. Come and say hi, please, if you'd like to. And all of a sudden, I started reading all these things going, heard about this on the 40-year-old boy. Love the 40-year-old boy. And I'm like, who the fuck is the 40-year-old boy? I'm thinking he's some pedophile reaching out to little kids, And I'm like, what the hell? That's just weird,
Who
man.
loves your music?
Yeah,
oh, my God.
And God bless him for
That's
that.
your crowd, buddy.
There's hope for him yet. So anyway, I looked into it, and I actually found your podcast where you talked about us, and that's why I called you. I said, hey, man, we'll come and we'll be on the thing, So the thing started to grow, and we had people like Vince Neil in magazines saying, these guys are my favorite band, and like all these big rock stars saying, this is the coolest thing ever. Because it, like I said, it's awesome. If I had nothing to do with it, it's really awesome. But all of a sudden,
before all of a sudden,
yeah.
Another great thing, and I'm going to throw this in myself, because not only do you do this, you don't wink at it. There's no, ha ha, wasn't this music stupid? We hated this. No, man, you love the music you're doing. You are paying a tribute to it in addition to bringing it and putting a new spin on it. You are modernizing things that you loved and making it for people now. It's fucking fantastic.
Thank you, man. And the whole point of it is that, it's like I always say to people,
Yeah,
right? Come
yeah.
on. Yeah, Mike Schmidt right there. I love that dude.
Because again, there's no wink, there's no irony, there's no like, well, you remember this dumb thing? No, fuck that. They love it.
No, man. And in fact, to tell you the truth, the funny thing about it, you guys, is that when we were putting the song together, the songs for the record, we actually made a little sign and we hung it on the wall that said "No Love Shack." Okay. And the reason that we did that was because we wanted to be committed to the idea that all the songs are great songs. I mean, even if you don't like Madonna and you don't like Journey and you don't like Paula Abdul or Rick Springfield, those are good songs, man. They're well-written songs. So it's like we just want to make it a thing where these songs are so familiar to people. The way I used to explain it was, imagine if you took the same road home every day of your life, right? And you took the same exact route every day of your life, and you could do it with your eyes closed. And then one day, a block from your house, there was a meteor stuck in the middle of the street. That's what I want Rock Sugar to do. I want it to be like, oh, I'm going to sing this. I love this song. What the hell just happened? And that's the whole point. Yeah. But anyway, we had a bunch of videos on that were going out, and they were getting very viral. And this one day, I used to love going on there and reading the comments, even though some of them were from dicks. Most of them weren't. Because, there's always that guy in the basement going, I want to drive nails into their heads. And I'm like, wow, bro, that's a lot of anger because you don't like Journey. You know what I mean? It's like, lighten up, pal,
Actually, that was Ross Valerie who posted that.
That's Ross Valerie. Yeah. Journey. Yeah, well, he needed the money. Anyway, so what happened was, so this one day, the video has been pulled. And it says this video has been removed from YouTube due to a copyright claim with the record label. Right? And I thought, we've been paying for this. I don't know why there'd be a copyright claim, right? So we start making some phone calls and come to find out that a certain individual who really was responsible for me wanting to be a singer heard one of the tunes and, I kid you not, thought it was him singing it. He thought we sampled his voice. Okay? Now, sampling is when you lift something from a record and you use it on another record. And like rappers have gotten into a lot of trouble for it over the years. But he literally thought that we took his voice off of his record and put it on our record. And
now, you idolize this guy.
Yeah, and at first I was like, that's awesome. I love that guy. And then my lawyer's like, no, it's not awesome. He's trying to shut you down. And I'm like.
Now, once you heard that, was your heart broken in two? That's
a good one.
No, and I'll tell you why. Because I never stop believing, dude.
Good man.
I don't stop believing. And so what happened was, that was very funny. So what happened was, look, Mike Schmidt.
Hi, how are you?
So what happened? We wrote back. Our lawyer wrote back, and he said, listen, he said, you got it wrong. This guy singing is Jess Harnell. He's a voice actor. You can look him up on IMDb. He does tons of stuff. He does a lot of impressions, and he's doing an impression of your client. So it's not him. So you're asking for an apology. They said we want punitive damages. We want a public apology. We want all this stuff. Well, we got a letter in the mail that I actually have framed in my awesome house that says...
Can I come throw wine on that letter? That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Go just toss a whole bottle on it. It says it is the opinion not only of myself, the lawyer, but also the record label, and most importantly, it is the opinion of blankety blank himself that is indeed his voice. And if you can't provide conclusive evidence, we will be proceeding with a full-scale lawsuit, right? So we had to go in the studio and find my vocal track and pull it out and go to court and play it and be like, see? And I'm on there going, yeah, give me more guitars. And I'm la, 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 just wigging at my voice or whatever, right? And so 2 weeks later, this happens. Check this out. We get a letter back.
You recommend we check this out?
Yeah, what? Yeah, you're going to like this. This is great.
I want to make sure.
I'm just talking to my friends, man. So, no, you guys are going to love this, dude. This is good. So check it out. So we get, 2 weeks later, we get this letter that says, okay, it's not his voice. However, it's way too close, and it's too misleading to the public, and he wants to withdraw your permission to use the songs unless you go re-record it. So, and I'm like, I said to Chuck, I go, how should I sing it, dude? And he goes, sing it like Rod Stewart, man. So I go in there and I sing it again. Okay, but it's one of these songs that's so iconic, everybody knows how it goes, and they know how it's supposed to sound. So it sounded pretty good, but we weren't as happy with it. So we sent that in. We get a letter back that says, okay, this is better. Tell you what, here's my offer. Use this new version of the song, repress all the CDs. We had 100,000 CDs, so that was like $500,000 that it cost us to do it, right, in a warehouse. And he goes, repress all the CDs, all right, and if you pay my legal fees, I will consider granting you permission. So I say to my lawyer, I go, consider? If we pay his legal fees, he can consider? I go, does that mean he can still say no? And he said he can totally still say no. And I said, well, then say, I said, fuck you. You know, I mean, it was like, what the hell is that? So the long and the short of it is that now, if you want a Rock Sugar CD, there's like 4 of them on Amazon for $150 because we can't sell them online anymore because of this. But it's good press, and one day I'll go on a talk show and I'll be like, the guy who made him want to be a singer wants to make him stop singing tonight at 7. You know what I mean? It'll be great. You know?
Did you hear from anybody else?
No, everybody else
because
loved it.
you do Motley. You said Vince Neil
Molly
loved it.
loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves it. Axl liked it. Joe Elliott liked it. Steven Tyler liked it. Bryan Adams liked it. All these guys liked it except this one dude.
How'd Janie Lane feel about it?
Oh, poor Janie. Janie, heaven ain't too far away, brother, and you're up there right now. You know what I'm saying?
I brought the show down by mentioning Janie
Listen,
Lane.
I got to just tell you one thing, dude. Colette Marie Lindemann would never have made a joke like that,
Agreed.
dude.
Yeah.
And neither would Chuck Hudspeth.
No.
He would never say that.
I got to be honest with you. I think Tragev Pedersen in Sweden is very upset.
Dude.
Trage Peterson is in Sweden and he says hello. Hi, Trage Peterson.
So yeah, that happened, dude. So
Right.
so you know, we're
Which is
not
ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you know what? Here's the thing, and now's probably a good time to do this. So we're thinking though of making a new album, a new Rock Sugar album, right? Which would be
Right.
cool, right? Yeah. Yeah. And now what's really great is the mythology of the band, because I wrote the liner notes for the first one. The mythology of the band now could be that now they're off the island and they're trying to assimilate into modern culture and learning the internet and all this other stuff that they'd be doing, but they can also use more current songs, right? So I thought, what better place would there be to make the worldwide debut of a new Rock Sugar song than here at this podcast with you guys? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, yeah.
Without any further ado, and hopefully no technical issues.
Yeah, no, don't start it at
We
the
got it
end,
cued?
dude.
We got
Put
it
down the
cued?
bomb.
We all squared that second song?
This is the other
And
song.
your name again of this one?
This one, well, it's called Roll You in the Hurricane. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yes, we are.
All right.
So, all right, let's hear it raw.
There it is. Crank it up, dude. I won't talk too much because I want you guys to check it out. And you guys listening, start banging your heads right now.
You know, Andrew Bennett loves this version.
Nice. I love that. Now remember, they're off the island, so they know some new songs, okay? That's key. Exactly. That's what I said.
He sent this to me at 1:30 in the morning. I'm in my house. I listened to it.
And then he called me and made me listen to it.
And now I'm making all you guys listen to it.
And it wouldn't be Rock Sugar if it was only 2 songs.
Right, then we have a surprise, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you hear Rock You Like a Hurricane in the background? It's badass, right?
Jim Donovan loves this.
Yeah, he did. Hang on. Who haven't I said? Kevin Ott, bro, right now.
Yeah.
He's got his lighter up in the air. I'm serious. Now, this next verse is my favorite because it all goes insane. Check this out. How about that, huh? That's the whole point.
Fuck yeah!
And then we go.
Mickey, are you on bass on this?
I am, actually.
Oh, Mickey, here you go.
On bass.
And drums.
You suck!
Yeah,
Got a
look, see
lighter.
right there. That's
we got
the
one
idea.
lighter. That's all I care about.
I don't know who you are, but I love you, man. And you got to hear this scream coming up right here. There's a great scream. Listen. Right here, dig this. See?
That's why my voice is
And he
on.
actually cut that Thursday. This is why I can't sing today.
See, it's just fun. Don't you think that a rock concert should be fun, right? I mean, all this stuff with people complaining about their lives and staring at their shoes and stuff, man.
Jess, that's my show. You can't stop that, buddy. Hey, Ben.
Now check this out. This is cool.
Little hoedown.
Yeah, it is. Totally. We're going to throw Bibles out during this part. It's going to be great. By the way, I'm singing higher than Adele. Now, that's stupid. I don't even know what the point is. It's really weird. And it gets higher right here. It modulates. It goes up. Listen to this.
I can't wait till her mopey ass sues you.
That's nuts, dude. Right? See, that's exactly.
Give me a little. Give me that, Mickey.
Yeah,
Come on.
see, look,
Get the
you gotta
hair
go.
going.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm serious. I want to set something on fire, dude.
That hat.
Yeah. Look, see,
That's
look, those are my
right.
girls
There we
right
go.
there, man. I love you, ladies.
got
Thank
two.
you. See?
We got two.
See?
We got one lighter. We got him in the back stand.
See, I can see them. I love you guys. By the way, that was the worldwide debut of that. That's the first New Rock Sugar song in like 4 years. And we got all these other new ones we're working on now that are just as stupid as that. So
That's fantastic.
it's great, dude.
So you're hoping to lay them out. You're doing an album. You're going to tour.
Well, you know, we always are touring because we just take shows as they come. But
Well,
the
you
thing
just
is-
played what Salt Lake Comic Con.
Yeah, we did Salt Lake. Oh, yeah, we've been doing the Comic-Con. I never finished telling you about the Comic-Cons, man. The Comic-Cons are a trip because these people come up to me all the time, and God bless them. First of all, they always come up and they go, hey, man, can you do the voice of so-and-so? And I go, I don't know what that is. And they go, you did that. I go, no, I didn't. They go, yeah, look right here. And I go, oh, I guess I did do that.
Dude, that's not even a lie. Because again, in doing the research on you, I was
Yeah.
doing it at my house.
I don't know,
And
dude.
I'm scrolling through your IMDb fucking page.
Yeah,
and,
it's long, dude.
And then I go, well, fuck, I'm just going to print it out and bring it with me
Yeah.
and do it at the hotel.
Yeah.
22 pages.
Yeah.
Your IMDb page.
I know, because I'm freaking awesome.
You're goddamn right
Yeah,
you are.
yeah.
But you're always playing like, dumb fuck duck or somebody like that. And it's just like, whoa, I didn't know you were dumb fuck duck. That's fucking fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, but see, they asked me
But
to
then
do-
mixed into that, fuck that, hold on. Then mixed into that, you were Elvis on Drew Carey.
Yeah, I've done all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff. Doing all
and
those guys,
you were
man.
you were the singing voice for the TV movie about Sonny and Cher. You were Sonny Bono.
I was Sonny Bono, yeah. I know.
How great
How
is
weird
that?
is that? And that was weird because I had to sing bad, like on purpose. Like they kept going. I would sing and they press the button. They go, and you do a little bit worse on the next one. I'm like, oh yeah, no. Because yeah, they say we're young and we don't know. You know, it's like freaking exactly. You know what
That's
I mean?
her wheelhouse. That's her wheelhouse.
Oh, you like that? Really? Elvis is also.
She's got his
Elvis is always
haircut.
good. Yeah,
I
she
totally-
does, man. Look at
during
that.
the
That's right.
song-
That's from like the 60s.
Just so you know, during the song, I wanted to take my panties off and throw them at you,
You
but
did that
I'm not
before-
wearing any, so I totally fucked up.
Oh, you see, dude. This is
Totally
why.
fucked up tonight.
This is why you get into show business. You got Lily Von Stupp wanting to throw her panties at
Will
you,
the
man.
next show be
Thank
needing
you, baby.
4 bar stools? Because I'm starting to wonder if they're going to want one of them, quite frankly.
This one is
Wow.
Splash Mountain right
Good.
now.
See how
Literally
Whisper in her ear.
right
See,
here.
dude, that's a designated response.
So
That's what
finish
you're shooting
Comic-Con.
for. Oh, well, Comic-Con. But you know what, man? I got a couple of stories, you guys. You want to hear a Comic-Con
I
story?
do.
Too? Okay. This
Now,
is
you
great.
know what? No.
All right, fuck it then.
How great would that be? No,
There
dude.
was this. First of all, this one time, man, because sometimes, I'm very like unfiltered. I just kind of say whatever it is that I'm thinking, and usually it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. But this one time, this guy came up to my thing, and he's got a little handheld recorder, and he puts it down. He goes, "Oh, Mr. Harnell, do you mind if I tape our conversation?" I said, "No, it's good, man. Go ahead." So he goes, I noticed that in one episode of Super Secret Squirrel, your hat was more of a dark burgundy color, and then in the following episode, it was sort of like a lavender purple. He goes, "What does this mean? Is there significance to this?" And I'm signing something, and I go, "What does it mean?" And he goes, "Yeah." I go, "Dude, it means you got to get out of the freaking house, man." I go, and I looked up at him because I was afraid I hurt his feelings, and I go, "Listen, you know I love you, dude. And he was laughing. So it was cool because I could keep going with it. I go, but seriously, there's a sky out there, dude. I go, and there's roads that lead to places. And I said, and tell me the truth, Sparky. I go, have you ever kissed a girl? Because trust me, it's not underrated. It's amazing. You know, and I started, and he's laughing. But it's true. It's like, dude, put down the notebook and go do something.
Well, Mr. Harnell, I did go outside, and the sky was a little more blue yesterday than it was today. Is there a significance to that, possibly?
Yeah, of course.
Fuck
wait.
you. Super Secret Squirrel's hat is not the terrorist alert notice.
It's not like a signal
Dude.
exact from Al-Qaeda. Well, check this. This is my favorite Comic-Con story of all time, man. I was actually in San Diego. I was doing San Diego Comic-Con, which is, you know, you take your life into your own hands when you do San Diego. But
That's the giant one, because I've never been.
It's enormous. And you know what, Mikey? They're all getting really big, dude, because somebody was smart and said, hey, man, you know, what is it? Like 25% of the revenue for the entire city of San Diego is generated in 3 days. We should probably have a Comic-Con in our town. That would make sense. So now they're doing them, I mean, everywhere. I could go to a Comic-Con every week if I wanted to, which I don't, but I go to some. Anyhow, I'm in San Diego, and let's just say, you guys, what's a nice way to say this? Because I really do love these folks, and they're really, it's kind of cool because they're the kids that never get to go into the cool clubs. So this is their cool club. You know what I mean? And they walk around and they're accepted and they're loved and they're wearing their silly outfit and everybody's taking pictures of them and it's beautiful. And I think that's great, right? But a lot of them don't get laid a lot. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of oral sex happening, right? So, you know, and that's cool too. But so this one day though, I like to walk around and meet people, and people go, oh, dude, you don't want to go out there because you're gonna get mobbed. I said, it's cool. I don't mind. I'll talk to people. It'll be fine. So I'm walking around. I'm buying funky T-shirts or whatever it is, and there's a tap on my shoulder. Okay?
Now, real quick though,
Yeah.
you got to explain this to me. You're a voiceover guy.
Yeah.
How does anybody notice you when you go out in the public like that?
I don't know, but it happens a lot. They think I'm the guitar player from Whitesnake.
I just don't see you getting recognized a lot. I got to be honest.
Man, it's weird.
Is it when you're arm rolling your pants? Is that when they come up and talk to you? All right.
Yeah, they're very shiny. So anyway, hey man, why stand back when you can stand out? You know, so I know what I was saying. So I'm walking around, and there's this little tap on my shoulder, right? And I turn around, and there's this guy, okay? And he's about 5 feet tall, weighs about 4 bills. Okay, he's a big dude, right? And he's wearing a Superman costume. Now, he's not wearing the new school Superman costume with the muscles built in where you can look cool no matter what you look like. He's wearing the old school spandex Superman costume. Okay, and let's just say there are many, many stains from him sweating because it's warm and it's spandex and he shouldn't be wearing it, but God bless him, he wants to be Superman. That's cool, right? And he's got the Brill cream in his hair. You can see his finger marks where he put it in there, and he's got the little curl on the forehead, and you know, and it's very cute. And I said, hey man, what's going on? He goes, oh, Mr. Harnell, I'm a big fan of your work, and it's so nice to meet you. And he starts asking me questions. And
You run into that guy a lot.
This is my go-to Comic-Con voice.
You see him quite a bit.
I only got one Comic-Con voice.
Right.
That's it.
Okay.
So if you don't like it, dude, I got to go home and work something
I got
else
to pay.
out.
If I want a better voice, I got to pay. Is that it?
Hey, Mr. Harnell, I'm a big fan of your work.
So I said, yeah, dude. I said, yeah. So he goes, can I ask you some questions? I said, sure. So he's asking me questions. And finally, I had to go. And I said, hey, man, it was great meeting you. And I shake his hand. And as expected, his hand is very moist and very warm and very wet. And, you know, and I said, it was nice meeting you. And by the way, I should also mention, just in the interest of full disclosure, there was such a smell coming out of this guy. You know what I mean? And you know, like hygiene isn't on the top of the list, but having the right cape was. And that's cool, right?
Well, there's not a lot of deodorant on Krypton.
Right, exactly. It's hard to find. You're right.
The place blew up. I mean, the
You're
last Walgreens is gone.
But dig this, man. This was so amazing because he says to me, and I'm gonna try to put you into my headspace when he said it. He goes, Mr. Harnell, would you mind if before you left, if I got a picture with you? And I said, that'd be great, man. Sure. And then he said it. He goes, would it be all right if I asked Supergirl to join us? Right, dude. And I literally, I mean, there was this moment where I was like, love exists. Love is alive in the world. Here's this guy, okay, who literally is like the physical embodiment of somebody you would not expect to have a girlfriend. And not only does he have a woman with him, she's dressed as Supergirl with him and is out in public and hanging with him and sharing this thing with, right? That was me. And I'm like, oh, the angels are singing. And I'm like, and I literally got like kind of choked up and I put my hand on his sweaty little shoulder and I go, dude, I would be honored to take a picture with you and your Supergirl, right? And he looks at me and he goes, well, thank you very much. Thank you. Mom! Okay.
Wow.
Now, right around the corner comes Mom, okay? Mom's about late 70s. She's wearing red thigh-high hooker boots
Yes!
and a little tiny skirt with like plastic boobs under a Supergirl top that are sticking out this far, and a long platinum wig and eyelashes this long. And she teeters up to me, and she puts her hand on my shoulder, and it's shaking, and he's on one side and she's on the other, and he's sweating all over me, and she's shaking on me, and the guy's taking the picture, and I'm just like, it had to happen. It had to happen. And then I said it. I go, because I figured, well, now the order has been restored to the universe. First of all, it all makes sense again. And then I said, tell me something. Do you go to a lot of these things with your son? And she said, you can't make this stuff up, man. She goes, well, I have to. He doesn't drive, and he lives in my basement.
Oh.
And there you go. That's
Wow.
Comic-Con. See,
see.
that's what I'm saying. That is Comic-Con. That's it. That sums it
Beautiful.
up. That's the experience.
So we're recording tracks. We're figuring out the rest of Rock Show. Do you have more tour stuff coming up? More Comic-Cons? Anything
we're
like that?
always going to do more. And in fact, I think what's great is that with the new stuff, we kind of took a couple years off playing.
How do you tell them, hey, by the way, I've got Rock Sugar, and we'll play while we're there?
Well, what's happening now, we got this great agent, and he tells them, he says, by the way, you can have these guys, and they're the ultimate party band. And it's true. So, like, we just did Salt Lake for the second time, because the first time we did it, we kicked so much ass that we went back to kick the same ass and more ass again, because it's just, honest to goodness, man, it's just fun. So I think next year we want to do some more big festival shows with some big acts, as well as doing the Comic-Con tie-in, because it's like, that way you get 2 for 1. You get Wacko singing Def Leppard. I mean, it's
Gorgeous.
pretty cool.
That's perfect. Do you and
Now it's like a bomb, baby, come and get it on.
now you were doing sound engineer stuff, Mickey. So you were in a studio a lot of the time. How do you did you have other bands that you toured with and things like that before you hooked up with these guys?
I never went down that road. So this
Okay.
is the first time, and I mean, there couldn't have been a better band to do it with.
Yeah.
So yeah, we go.
How great!
these
Yeah, it's
awesome
great, right?
Comic-Cons.
You're digging it. You
It's
like
really
it on
cool.
stage.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm not the original.
I have a question. How much pussy do you get?
Yeah,
Well,
good
then.
question, Nick. What do you
I'm going to bypass that question
Damn!
because I do think that it's important, because I wasn't the original bass player. It was Amanda Howlett.
Oh, really? It was
Yes,
Amanda.
it's Amanda
Terrific.
Howlett.
But I will tell you this, the thing about Mickey, we call Mickey, listen, this is the way to sum it up, Mike. Have you ever had a friend who is like such a good person? He's such a quality human being, and he's inspirational, and he's a good person, and he doesn't want to, have threesomes with strippers, and he doesn't want to, like steal from the promoter,
Oh, no,
and
that's
he
not
doesn't
her.
want to do any of that stuff.
That's totally not her. I apologize.
And then you put him in your band anyway. That's
Nice.
Mick, because we call him Saint Mick because he's such a good guy.
He drives the bus.
In fact, on a serious note, we're gonna tell you something now. Mickey does something that I'm very proud of, and this is one of the things. In addition to loving the dude as a musician, he's a great person. Tell him the project that you're doing with the kids, dude, because it's so awesome.
So this is
awesome.
cool. If you ever
There's gonna be a big in a minute, and it's true. Go ahead.
So I created this songwriting program for kids in hospice, and if you guys, it's a recording
told ya.
program. The songs that we write are just really cool, and the kids are amazing. So if you ever need a place to donate to, it's Providence Trinity Care.
Yeah.
That's the place to.
Is there a website or anything like that?
Google Providence Trinity Care Hospice.
So you recommend Google for this?
Google.com.
And the thing is, what he literally does is he gets with these kids who are so sick, and he helps them write and construct and compose a song that he then records professionally with them singing or rapping on it. And it's amazing. It's like such a beautiful thing. So I'm very proud.
So
of you.
Providence
Thank you, man.
Trinity Care is what to look up for
Providence
Mickey.
Trinity
Yes. Yeah.
And does he help with the writing process? Or is it just you and Chuck who's like knocking out the tracks?
It was always just me and Chuck, but me
Right.
and Mick have been sitting down recently and putting things together, and it's been fun. We just,
Nice.
it's basically like, you remember when you were a kid and you had puzzles and you lay all the pieces out all over the floor and kind of see what goes together? That's what we do with the guitar, man. We just kind of say, hey, maybe this could fit with that and this could fit with that. And it's really fun because the idea at the end is to create a song that sounds like maybe it should have just been like that from the beginning.
Right. Nice. I got 2 names left. I got Sean. I got Greg. They're Australian. What can you do with that? Yeah.
I don't know. I can say, hey, dude, what's up in Australia, Sean and Greg?
Oh, wow.
No, I already talked about Sean Pinder. Is that who you're talking about?
Oh, did we? All right. Well, he's an Australian. And Greg.
Greg Knockolds?
Yes.
You know what I love is the only pronunciation they put on here is for Whaley, which is
I
fairly
did that.
simple.
Well,
they
they
didn't put a pronunciation for Trygve Peterson.
I didn't ask him. I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to take a shot at Try Gev and see what the fuck happens.
Listen, if we got your name wrong, dude, then keep listening to the show and we'll get it on a further episode.
And I don't care. You live in Sweden. What the fuck? Who cares? What are you going to come over here and yell at me? Please. Dude, this has been amazingly fun. Thank you.
Oh,
I mean,
for us.
it's
Thank
so
you,
great
man.
that you came.
For us,
Give it up
too.
for Mike.
Yeah, and it's so nice. Not only, listen, I'm going to tell you something. I've done a lot of interviews for a lot of things, man, and there's not, I say no more often than I say yes, but this dude, seriously speaking, one of my favorite interviewers that we've ever gotten to talk to, and getting to do it in front of you guys was like a big bonus. So thanks so much for hanging with us. I appreciate it.
It's amazing. Thank you. Everybody on the live stream, thank you. Everybody on the list who went ahead and paid, we appreciate it very much. Thanks to Podfest for having us one more time. Lily Von Stupp, amazing producer.
Lily.
Rock Sugar the band is the Facebook page. You can check them out.
Rock Sugar Band.
JessHarnell.com.
No, you know what? I didn't even get into that stuff, man, because I have enough people mad at me now for not calling them back, so I'm not on social media.
Jess Harnell.
Yeah.
Mickey Caputo. My name is Mike Schmidt. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Good night.
Thanks, you guys.
I tell you, you want to hook people in, get them halfway through a recipe and cut your fucking show in half. That's it. Do an hour about stew and then bail, get on a plane, and then come back and revisit it 2 days later, because that's the most important stew in the universe. Were there noodles or rice involved? Stay tuned!
We here, we are playing on a level that most will never see.